Live to the game sites across America every night with our exclusive Fox scans.
Let's go live to the Great Western Forum.
Kobe, 22 minutes, 21 points.
Locker room scoops from 45 arenas.
Let's go live to the Kiel Center.
It was a great bounce-back effort by everyone.
40 announce teams covering hundreds of games.
Live to the summit.
We're very concerned about his health.
Fox Scan, why we alone can say at Fox Sports News, we are there.
What it all comes down to. Ottawa's tug nut and the big paw of the Dominator. Three times the Buffalo Sabres had the chance to celebrate in game number one, and that had the Marine Midland folks rocking up a storm. Remains the Marine Midland Arena in downtown Buffalo for Game 2 of the best-of-7 series between the Sabres and the Ottawa Senators. Hi there, everybody. This is Rick Jenneret along with Jim Lorenz and Dennis Williams, and you have to think that the Buffalo Sabres coaching staff would be very pleased with the turn of events on Thursday night.
Yes, sir. It was just a solid effort for Buffalo, and I think when you examine that game overall, maybe the major key was the focus slash concentration and intensity of the Sabre Hockey Club, and they did it for 60 minutes, and I really think that was the major key.
And when you talk about keys, of course, that's something that we did speak about before the first game of the series, and Buffalo followed them pretty good.
Well, they sure did. They needed to pressure the Ottawa players. They needed to pursue the puck, and of course when you do those two things, that equals scoring chances, and Buffalo did that well. So there's certainly a mark of A in that department, and Buffalo played their game. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They did not play the Ottawa hockey game. We give them an A there. And of course the goaltending, that was an A. Dominik Hasek was simply better than Ron Tugnut. And physical. Buffalo wanted to play a physical series. Ottawa does not match up against them in that department. And perhaps the best example of that was the line of Brad May, Michael Grosek, and Derek Plant. Derek Plant ended up scoring the winning goal for Buffalo in the second. Michael Grosek was awesome in the corners, playing strong all evening long. And Brad May, he was doing his thing out there, and playing aggressive physical hockey is his game.
Probably the number one key is the forecheck and the ability to knock those guys down and get in their way and slow them down. You know, they're a highly skilled team, and that's one thing we have to do is be more physical than them. But game one of 7 games and or possible 7 games, and being physical in the first 1, 2, 3, and 4 games, maybe takes the wind out of their sails in the 5th and 6th, and that's the approach you have to take. That the hit early in the first period tonight doesn't necessarily win the game tonight, but it may help, down the line, and that's what you have to do. You have to win the battles, but most importantly, you got to get the war done.
Well, certainly Ottawa lost the first game, but they did not embarrass themselves whatsoever.
Oh, not in the least, but their coaching staff, I think, was really disappointed in the way they played. They did some things that they hadn't done in recent games, and so there was disappointment. And I think Jacques Martin maybe said it best. He said, we weren't desperate. Buffalo was desperate, and they deserved to win the game. They were a better hockey team. But I think, too, one of the major keys tonight will be the neutral zone for Ottawa. 3 of the Buffalo goals came as a direct result of playing the neutral zone. Ottawa could not handle them, and Jacques said we must improve in that department here tonight. Those are some of my keys. Here are a few others.
Well, I think obviously we need more shots on Dominik, because he stops the majority of certainly the initial shot and oftentimes the second shot. So the more shots, the better, and our odds will go up as far as scoring a goal. Second of all, we need to simplify our play a little bit. We can't try to be too fancy and behind-the-back passes at our blue line or their blue line. We need to get the puck into their end and try and establish some forechecking.
getting the puck to the net, as we talked about in Game 1, and creating some traffic, playing physical, but not going out of our way to get that big hit. And I think, you know, we can't be out of position when we're trying to do our work. So just remaining composed, you know, that's another thing that we have to do, is keep our composure. They're going to try and get us off our game, and we can't allow that.
And you know, we talk so much about Alexei Yashin, and well, we should. We have to keep in mind that Daniel Alfredsson is an awfully good hockey player for Ottawa, and he scored the only goal.
I think Daniel Alfredsson is probably their second best player. He's very good in traffic. He had 4 shots on goal against Buffalo the other night, and he's just a solid competitor. So he's one guy that the Sabres also are going to have to pay special attention to here this evening.
And the Sabres will have Miroslav Shatan back in the lineup after missing the opener of the series. Let's go downstairs now to Dennis Williams.
Thanks, guys. I'm with assistant coach Don Lever. Coach, a big win the other night. What did you think the team did most effectively on Thursday night?
Well, I think for the first time in a long time we were able to sustain a real sound forecheck. We made a little bit of an adjustment as far as our third man, and we were able to put some to penetrate their zone, and we were able to sustain a lot of pressure on them.
Any new wrinkles in the game plan going into tonight?
Well, we just we want them to understand that Ottawa is going to come harder than they did last game, and they got to be ready for it.
All right, thanks very much. Let's go back upstairs to Rick.
Now, when you talk about Alexei Yashin and the fact the Sabres must respect his considerable talents, keep in mind that he led all the Russian players in the National Hockey League in scoring this year with 75 points. And when you see Yashin tonight, you won't have to go far to find Michael Pekka.
Sometimes the batteries are included. Sometimes you find a space with time on the meter. It's great to get more than you expected, like with a Ford Escort. At such a great price, who'd expect the hot new styling and more powerful engine? But you get it all in an Escort at your local Ford dealers. But since we're talking about more than you expected, for a limited time, get an Escort and get $1,000 cash back. Now that's a pleasant surprise. But hurry, you can't expect this offer to last. Did you know Buffalo Hardwood has one of the largest selections of hardwood flooring in the USA? Buffalo Hardwood offers award-winning installation and professional advice for do-it-yourselfers. We have monthly installation demonstrations for hardwood flooring and original Pergo. Buffalo Hardwood also has everything you need to take care of your floors. Call 651-WOOD for our next installation demonstration.
Buffalo Hardwood.
We'll show you how.
16 years, over 30,000 members, and $3 million in fitness equipment. Nobody knows fitness like the BAC at the BAC Home Fitness Store. Now you can purchase professional-grade treadmills, stair climbers, home gyms, free weights, and more. Plus exercise bikes, mountain and racing bikes, rollerblades, Reebok Step and Slide. The BAC Home Fitness Store in the Eastern Hills Mall. Nobody knows fitness like the BAC.
With its legendary capabilities and tough quadricoil suspension, the Jeep Grand Cherokee can take you to all kinds of places far from home. Or not so far from home. Now lease a legend Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for $339 a month. Check one out at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
A story of tradition, emotion, victory, heartbreak. A story of a small town, a small school, a great team, and one shining season in college basketball. A story of unfinished dreams. Call 1-800-421-1696 to purchase a home video copy or for a sales outlet near you. Unfinished Dreams, the 1969-70 St. Bonaventure basketball season.
brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Dodge, the new Dodge. See your Team Dodge dealer today. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the way we call collect today. Ron Tucknut right back into the thick of things tonight after playing so well for Ottawa in the stretch run in order to ensure the Senators that they would be playing in this series tonight. He's certainly the odds-on favorite to be in there between the pipes for most games for the Senators. And of course, you know that Dominic Hasek will be there for the Buffalo Sabres as referee Richard Trottier and the linesman Wayne Bonney and Mike Civic get ready to roll on. They're pumped up here at the Marine Midland Arena for game number 2. Pekka against Yashin. And back through center ice and gaining the line now, looking and whipping one in. Hasek will knock it down for Zhitnik. Zhitnik, no particular hurry. Yashin keeps an eye on him, so he dumps it off to Schmelik. Schmelik steering it up at center to Ward. Ward trying to cut through the middle, tipped it in over the line, crashes into Pitlick, and 3 players go down. Sent around on the boards and ends up going back through center ice. And Pitlick trying to set the tone for the Senators. Pitlick cutting it around behind the net. Hit back in the other direction to Schmelik. Schmelik rolling it around to Ward. Ward starting away. Zhitnik cutting the center now. In over the Ottawa line. Zhitnik dropping it back and scooped in front of the net. Go down. And recovered by the Senators and fired down the ice. And they're going to get nailed with an icing here almost a minute into this opening period.
In our Vicks Deep Discount scratches for tonight, Ottawa going with the same lineup as the other night. Bale, Musil, and Damian Rhodes in scratches. And for Buffalo, Bob Buchner with a bruised shoulder. Ed Ronan a healthy scratch because Miroslav Satan is playing. Jacques Martin told me this morning, he said, we have to play a much smarter game. We did not play smart the other night. When the Sabres, for instance, stood us up in the neutral zone and forced us, we refused to shoot the puck in. That was dumb. We must change tonight.
Frank tried to kick it free, does. May took his shot and just fired it wide. May crashing into Alfredson and going down. Held in by Buffalo, now rolled around on the other side. And it slipped to the blue line, not out, picked out of the air, and they finally chop it to center. Taken back for Wilson. Wilson guiding it across. Off the skate it goes. It's scooped high in the air and way too high for play. Pachanik rolled it to center ice. It's taken away and fired in again. Pachanik chasing after it, and May is right on him, so Tugnut scoops it to the other side. Oshik trying to hold it in. He does. Got it to May. Couldn't get a shot on as he gets taken down by Pachanik. The Senators will crank it off the boards and back down the ice. Ottawa making changes. Now Buffalo as well. Wilson swirling around behind the net, finding Shannon, who scoops it high in the air to center. It'll be knocked down at center, but Lambert couldn't get anywhere. Taken by Vaughn. And it's broken up at the line by Shannon, gunned right back in by the Senators. Flipping this one around on the glass. Not out. It's kept in with a long shot. Hasek picks it out of the air and scoops it back into the corner. And it's kept in by Ottawa again for Lambert. Lambert running into Shannon, and the lumber came up a bit there. Now they'll jam on the board, but it's taken away to Waddell at center. Coming back with Holsinger in over the line. Couldn't reach it after it again. And tipped into the corner as he and York collide. Good in front of the net. But it's knocked down and tapped out to center. Redden racing after it. It's hammered by another rookie, McKee. Worked up on the wing. Here comes Audet ripping in. Takes his shot. It's blocked in the defense. Audet hustling after it again. Holsinger dropping it back. Gilly ripped it wide. Around on the boards. Kicked in there by McKee. Sending it in. Flat getting involved. Now Dacko will work it ahead. Ottawa coming back again. Brought in over the line. Trying to cut in now. Touch on the rebound. They score! On the rebound, Dacko. And the Ottawa Senators getting the first goal of the game. And then Galley really upset and trying to get after one of the Senators.
Goal for Ottawa to get them going here tonight, but this play is made to the outside right here as Jay McKee cannot catch up to Zotok, and Dacko, who had followed up on the play, out-muscles Primo and makes it 1-0. Well, what a play by Zoltak to go to the outside. Here's a guy who began the season as a fourth-line center and has worked his way into the number 2 centerman behind Alexei Yashin. He makes the play, and Dacko finishes it off.
So 2 minutes and 48 seconds from the start of the game, they've already scored. The other night, it was well into the hockey game before either team was able to get on the board. Here's McKee now. He whips it ahead. That missed everybody, and it's going to skitter down the ice. Primo doesn't get there in time. In fact, York does, and it's icing 3 minutes into this opening period.
Wayne Primo, of course, excited to be participating in his first playoff series. And he has Miroslav Shatan playing on one wing and Rob Ray on the other. But Buffalo now changes up. Sort of interesting. Jacques Martin went with 3 lines to begin this game and had the Radek Bonk, which is his 4th line, out against Buffalo's 3rd line. And that resulted in a goal. So a coaching move early results in an Ottawa goal.
Line coming back out on the ice for Plant with Groshek and May. Senators cannot make a change now, even if they want to. At least not until after the puck is dropped. Tipped into the corner, recovered by Gallagher. Gallagher slipped it off the board, but Zoltan keeps it in. Or chop away at it. May tried to get it out, can't do it. Zoltan can't get it. Passing puts it all the way around to Groshek. It's held in by the Senators again. Tapped back behind the net. Recovered by McKee to May. May tried to flip it to center ice. He did. Zoltak dealt it right back in again. May knocking it down. May taking away at center. Flipped it up in the wing, but that's intercepted and brought back by the Senator. In over the line, York steps going into the corner, and that'll pop off a stick and go right out of play. 3.5 gone by. Here in the first. The Senators have taken the lead.
Where do you want this? Hey now, I ordered a new copier.
This is better than new, my friend. Allow me to demonstrate. Oh, what do we have here? Wow. Enlarges, too. Even collates. I'll take it.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I didn't think I could shove this baby through. Now that I'm teaching the business, we're getting really close.
Even though my job takes me on the road a lot.
But that's no problem. I have them call me 1-800-COLLECT. It's inexpensive, so we can talk as often as we want.
Without screwing up the bottom line.
Yeah, calling with 1-800-COLLECT has really helped us get to know each other.
Yeah, we talk about business and sports and women.
By the way, how is Shelley?
That's Charlene, Dad.
Charlene.
1-800-COLLECT. They love to hear from you.
Our Citgo go-to guy tonight is Daniel Alfredson, who scored in Game 1 and ended up second in points this season.
Long shot doesn't get through, and Ward will hook it high in the air. Dahl racing after it and over the line, and it's swept away at the last second. Pekka keeping it in. Pekka got leveled by Declan. Drove in front of the net, and the pass goes all the way to center. And Pekka is slow at getting to his feet. In fact, he can't pick up his stick. He's almost right out of it. He makes it to the bench. And it's brought back now by McKickern, feeding it through center. In over the line. Yashin trying to go wide. He's squeezed out by Shipnick. Trying to clear it in front. That's taken away. Back off the boards. Yashin's got it again. Shipnick steps into him. Shovel it back into the corner. Rolls behind the net. Ward got there to scoop it around the flank. Mike trying to dump it off the boards. Can't do it. And the Senators are doing the forechecking. They'll kick it again. It's rolled but not out. Kept in by Ottawa. In front of the net. Cleared away by Hasek. Away from Gardner. And beside the net again. Get out in front. Backhand. It ends up in the net. No goal. No goal.
Now the referee, Trache, is saying the net was lifted up. What a clever move, though, by Yashin as he scored with his back to the front of the net. And Ottawa saying, why doesn't that count? Watch this play. Around the Buffalo net. Ottawa, here comes the net. Oh, I see it went underneath, yeah. Oh, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it went in the short side initially. But here's Pekka. Picklick is their toughest defenseman. And he ran Pekka hard into the boards. And Pekka had a problem getting his legs underneath him.
Oh, boy, did he ever. To his credit, he stays on the bench, though. He did not go to the dressing room, but He reached down to try and pick up his stick a couple of times and just couldn't find it.
So a couple of huge checks here by Ottawa tonight to set the tone. And they take the early lead 1-0 on the goal by Dackel from Zoltar.
Now moving in, Van Allen against Holzinger. Honeywood charges after him in the corner. He gets taken out. He's dumped up ahead. Audette failed to cut it out. Came in front of a net. Picked off by Holzinger. They'll bank it back for Shannon. Shannon scooping it high in the air through center. Duchesne charging after it. Holzinger's right on it. Holzinger missed him with a check. Audette keeping it in. Flung a shot that deflected wide. Holzinger in the corner, leaving it to Burridge. Capping it back down to Audette. Audette tried to swing it around the board. Getting into the chatting. Burridge bumping in there with Pringle. Burridge takes it free. The backhand hit a skate in front of the net. It's cleared away to center. Ottawa coming back with Alfredson. Alfredson in over the line. Ripped his shot. Wilson got in front. Alfredson's got it again. Dropping it back. And a quick shot right on. She's got the save and hangs on to it.
Now, Ottawa is succeeding here already in this hockey game in the areas that they did not in Game 1. They wanted to get more shots on Dominic Hasek, and they are. They're shooting the puck from all over. And great position in front of the goaltender on that play. Hasek comes up with the loose puck. And the intensity so far in the early going belongs to the Senators, not to Buffalo. Now here's his fourth line matchup with Radek Bogg and Lambert up front against the Primo line.
Lambert keeping it in, sending it back to the point. The long shot. Hasek, no difficulty, scoops it around on the boards. Chatan got it to the blue line, not up apparently. It's tapped back in now to McKee. McKee working it around, and that'll end up slithering down inside the Ottawa line where Redden recovers. Redden drilling it to Lambert off his stick. McKee trying to flip it back in again. Delayed offside, picked up by Wade Redden. He is denied by Chatan, who's all over him. Sliding it over to York. York to Redden again. There's Redden. Flipping it out to center ice, and the Sabres with Galley trying to bring it back. Galley got taken down. There is a penalty coming up here today. And Buffalo will get the first power play of the game. Have the opportunity to tie this one up almost 6 minutes into the opening period.
That was a lazy penalty by Alexander Daig in the neutral zone. The hook on Gary Galley. You see, Daig just doesn't have position to check him, and you just can't do that. I mean, you're better off to just allow him to skate by you and shoot the puck in the zone. And so the Senators, who have had a history all season long of not hurting themselves very often with penalties, hurt themselves early here. But can Buffalo capitalize? 14:01 remaining in this period.
Plante and Groshek. Shannon and Galley. Rolled back down to Galley. Poking along the wall. Gets in there. Trying to bust free behind him. Scoops it all the way around to Shannon. Shannon will tap it back. Here's May. Turning, bothered by Lokinen. Got it in there. Plant trying to get in as well. Van Allen's on. Groshek tried to pick it off, but Honeywood comes up with the puck, and he'll sail it down the ice. Ottawa changes up. Hasek feeding it for Galley. Galley scoops it across to the other side. Buffalo starting back again. Plant being watched. Got it up on the wing to Galley. Galley will crank one up. He'll drill it in. Groshek scooped at it. Knocked it back in the other direction. Pinch in now. It's knocked to the blue line. Kept into Galley. Galley didn't get his shot away. After it again. Galley and Gardner. And Gardner took it away and knocks out Galley. The Senators send it the rest of the way down the ice. A minute remaining in the penalty. Shannon gaining center ice. He'll wind up and drill one in. Duchesne let it go. It's cut back in the corner for Holzinger. Holzinger now swinging it to Shannon. Shannon picked his shot to Holzinger. Drills one and fires it wide. Galley keeping it in. Galley stuffs it back into the corner, but it's broken up, and Cunneyworth cranks it up the boards, and the Ottawa captain sending it down the ice. Buffalo doing some changing, and the Senators as well. Shipnick starts out. Shipnick's pass through the middle to Burridge. Burridge tipping it in now to Audette. Audette got it back to Holzinger. The shot right on. Rebound. Chandler Priest. And Cutnut covers up and hangs onto it. And now Audette gaining some attention in front of the net from Alfredson.
Well, a well-constructed rush by Buffalo results in an excellent scoring chance in front. And Donald Audette drew traffic because he tried to pry the puck from underneath the goaltender. Now here comes Buffalo. They do this better than any team in the league. On the rush, watch the pass across, and the rebound in front of the net, or loose puck, is just failed to be put into the net by Randy Burridge.
Still 21 seconds to go in the power play. Circle, and now it squeezes its way into the corner. Redden banging all the way around to Alfredson. He hands on it. Sabres holding it in. Hook back to the point. Kept in by Schmeling. Schmeling taking it into Audette. He took a bump from Redden. Holzinger helping out. Holzinger got it back now. Here's Schmeling. Shoot it. Hooter's shot is blocked by York, and the Senators are back at full strength. Buffalo trying to keep it in, and York just leveled Shipnick with a cross check. No penalty call there. Knocked back in over the line. Shipnick picks it off. Shipnick's pass went all the way to Luukkonen at the center. Luukkonen starting back in, and he ducked away from Schmeling's check. And back on the boards again. Senators keeping it in. That's knocked down. Hose in front of the net. That's stuck away and now tapped out as far as center. Went behind Daw. Daw could not catch up with it. Ottawa trying to come back again. Yashin sending it through the middle. Got back into the line. Going wide, McEachern. McEachern had it cleared in front. Yashin to save the rebound. Cleared all the way back to the blue line. Pitlick keeping it in. His shot, and Yashin fanned on that. Senators keeping it in there. Step back into Yashin again. Yashin behind the net. Wilson's all over him. Wilson and Yashin collide in the corner. So they kick it free. It's tipped out in front. Quick shot. That's knocked out. Rivers can't get it out. And finally, recovering was Shannon. Dealing it all the way around. Ward tapping it through center. Racing after it. Pick up 2-on-1 to Daw. Here's Tucker. The shot right on. And Tubnut flops on that one and hangs on to it. Approaching the halfway mark of the first period. Senators on top.
Of all the features that have made Dodge Caravan America's best-selling minivan, nothing has been as user-friendly as our revolutionary second sliding door. And now, you can get this second sliding door at no extra charge. Announcing the National Dodge Sale, it's never been easier to get into and out of America's favorite minivan. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Old, junky antique shops. I like. You want me to tell you what my Discover Card statement says? Just little things that make a girl sing. I have fish, and I have birds, and I have dogs. Mango. Cecilia Bartoli, and something by Puccini. Floridita Cuban restaurant. Fabulous. Stuck to my diet a little bit. That cash bonus thing at the end of the year.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Live a little.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Ready for the face-off back in the Ottawa zone. The Senators getting that early goal. Andres Dackel. Ottawa's been taking it to Buffalo with the body in the early going, too.
Well, 8-1 is the hit department, and it's Buffalo's point of view, that's something that they strive to excel at. So far haven't done it in this game. They did it in game one.
Shane got it around on the boards, and it ends up at center ice, and Dackel comes racing after it again. He leaves it to Soltok. Hurry in front! Save, and then ducks out of the way as to get out of the way in front of the net after Duchesne went crashing into the net.
That was Duchesne who jumped up front with the forwards. He does that as well as any defenseman in the league. And he just failed to connect, so Ottawa strong on the rush here at the Marine Midland Arena. Watch the puck come to the front, and Duchesne was tripped up by Donald Audette. And Kashik had to be agile to avoid that collision. Dominic Kashik with 3 shots on goal. Buffalo with 8 shots on Ottawa.
I think it's the other way around, pardon.
Or I beg your pardon. 8 shots for Ottawa.
Right.
Yeah.
10.5 to go here in the opening period, and the Senators, of course, have the only goal. Swings it around on the board. Shanahan bumping in there with Dackel. Kick away at it. Hand knocking it free, but Dackel gets all tangled up with him, and they both hit the deck. Chorsky up in the corner with McKee. They bump again. Dackel got it free. Tried to clear it in front, and Galley with a fine play. Jam to the board, but not out. Senators holding it in. Now McKee steals it away, but doesn't get it out. Duchesne keeping it in. His long shot deflected into the corner. After it again, put back behind the goal. He's taken away. Hunsinger stepped into his man, right off the glass. Shatan picks it up, sends it at center to Audette. Audette now dumping it in, and they're going to call this on and offside. It took a little while for the linesman to find his lips with the whistle. Ticker seat 97 is coming up on Monday night here at the Marine Midland Arena. Get priority seating for the 97-98 Sabres season. And watch the Sabres take on the Senators right here in this building on the Jumbotron. Concession stands and the team store will be open. Also going to be entertainment. Everything getting underway at 5 o'clock. 855-4444 is the number if you require more information.
Ottawa outworking Buffalo in this first period, and that's something you seldom see happen to a Sabre club, particularly in the Buffalo end of the rink. Ottawa playing their game, the Sabres not.
And they don't do it right, they shall do it one more time. Halfway through the first period. To Shannon. Shannon sliding it at center ice. May gets squeezed out, tipped it in over the line, but Redden takes it back. And he flipped it off the glass to center ice, and Bonk comes on now. Here's Bonk dropping it off. Quick shot. She reached out with an arm on this one and steered it right over the glass and out of play.
Supposedly, this is Ottawa's fourth line with Bonk, Lambert, and Alexander Daigle is double shifted from time to time, and he's out there now on the wing. So that means that Ted Nolan, instead of going with May, Primo line, sent out Derek Plant, Groshek, and May. And the quick shot went off the stick of Wilson, deflected up into the corner of the rink, and the face-off to the left of Hasek.
No, Bonk and Plant will do it again. Wilson stick. Flipping it over to May. May tried to back it off the boards, tripped and fell, and Wilson picks it up. Wilson sliding it through center. Redden is charging back after it. May watching him. Takes out Redden behind the net. Fed around on the boards, dropped off, and the Senators clear it out, and Richard Trottier spilled over a broken stick on the ice and went down. It's up again, though. He's all right. Wilson trying to pass up at center. Got it to May. May to the Ottawa line, shoveling it in, turning around, looking it into the corner. Almost crashing in there, trying to keep it in to May again. May moving it from Plant around to May. Too far for him. Shannon can't keep it in. Ottawa 3-on-1 coming out. Here's Alfredson in the line. Alfredson stopping the trailer, the shot. Fired wide by Cunningham. Jam back in behind the net again. Tapped around behind the goal. Going after it. Shipnick stepped into it. It's put back into the corner. Van Allen recovering. Van Allen leaving it there to Alfredson. Alfredson scooting around back at the point. Now he takes a shot. That one bounces off into the corner where Shipnick recovers. Shipnick taking it off the glass. Not out. Alfredson keeping it in, and Shipnick mixing it up in the corner with Van Allen. Taken away by Shipnick behind the net. Shipnick sailing it up on the wing, and Cunningham took a run at him. And boy, the buddies are starting to sail around now. Lokinen into the line. Great shot. Hasek makes the save. Lokinen goes down. Along with Shipnick as they collided. Over in front of the net, and Hasek's got that one, and we will have a face-off coming up. 8 to go here in the first.
Hey, buddy. I'll trade you my scarf for that last Bud Light. But the hat? That's fair. What more could you possibly want, huh? Oh. You got her on. deal.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you
I
down,
never said it was the last one.
make it a Bud Light.
You are witnessing, in its entirety, the Volkswagen sales pitch.
You want to take it for a spin?
During our national test drive event, you can lease a Jetta GL for just $169 a month on a 2-year no-hassle lease, which means for the next 2 years, all you have to do is put in the gas. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Welcome back. I'm with Sabres President Larry Quinn to talk about a great piece of memorabilia that fans can get a hold of now.
Hi, Dennis. We got this great book of the Sabres history with all these Senators cheering in the background. They've never been to playoffs, so they don't have a book like this, but it's a 26-year history of the Sabres in the Memorial Auditorium. It's a great piece of work.
We're in enemy territory here. We better get out of here. Let's go back upstairs to Rick and Jim.
And the puck stuffed around behind the net. Gardner trying to pick it off. He leaves it back there. They poke at it from the boards. And three right beside them. They'll poke away out of the can and finally end up with a face-off coming up and some more pushing going on. And now McKechnie trying to get around the outside and Daw came over to cut him off in the pass.
Now, this is this matchup we've been seeing constantly from game 1 here into game 2. Yashin, McKechnie, Gardner playing against Pekka, Daw, and Ward.
Well, if the face-off wasn't going outside the blue line before, it is now because both Ottawa defensemen moved up to get into that fray. Tchanik and Duchesne.
One thing, Alex Yashin is a great playmaker. One of the problems he has, though, is he has two guys on the wing, McKechnie on the left and Gardner on the right, who do not score many goals. McKechnie scored only 11 this year, and Gardner had 11. But both players have very good speed.
Now on the face-off, it rolls back into Ottawa territory. Pitlick catching up with it. Patrick chasing after him. Here's the corner. Now deflected up along the wall. Ends up at center. Tap back for Schmelik. Schmelik will sail one right back in. Pitlick recovering in there. Pekka trying to line him up. Kept in by Ward. Took a shot and Tugnutt had to reach out and scoop that one and hang on to it because Daw and Pekka were hanging around.
Well, Michael Pekka was decked with a huge body check from Pitlick early in this period, and I had my doubts at the time whether he would return, but he certainly has and has been very effective. But Buffalo, this is one of the things that they must do. One of our keys is pressure and puck pursuit. That equals scoring chances. Although that was not a good scoring chance, it was a result of good pressure and pursuit in the zone. And they need more of that. They need to turn the momentum of this hockey game down 1-0 and being outshot 10-4.
Back out for the face-off for Buffalo. And Zoltan will charge into the corner, but picking it off is Danko. He'll flip it up to center ice. Chorsky tapping it in on the wall. Danko racing it. McKee squeezes him out. Chorsky took a bump from down on the other side. Holsinger flipping it in the air. Redden keeping it in. Drops it off. Danko the long shot. That's taken away by McKee. Backing it around for Audette. Poke but not out. Redden keeping it in. Dead after it again. He gets checked by Chorsky. And he's beating it to Danko. Taken out by McKee along the wall. They're still pushing and shoving, and the Senators coming up with the puck, but it ends up on Holsinger's stick. Holsinger backing it up ahead. Here's Burridge trying to slide it back to Holsinger, but it was in his skates. Buffalo's changing. The Senators coming back again. Brought in over the line. Shannon came over to take it away from Zoltak, and Zoltak took it back. Then he finally gave it away to Audette. Audette slipping it up for Shannon at center. Cross-ice pass through the middle, taken in over the line with Wilson's shot. And he fired that one wide. Round on the boards, held in by Primo, who's in there. Back in the corner again, kicked in by Buffalo. A long, high one into the corner. Primo racing after it. Primo in the corner, looking in front of the net. Tied up by Bull. Duchesne put it right on Chatan's stick. Go back to the net. Firing in there as they pick up Bull in the corner. And now, here's Lambert and Ray tossing punches back in the corner. They look to get at each other. The puck is cleared down the ice. And the penalty is ended up going to Buffalo, I believe. And Ray is going to get the gate. As he and Lambert did everything but keel saying, why doesn't Lambert receive a penalty also? But Primo, playing a physical brand of hockey again here in Game 2, gets involved in the corner a couple of times. First on Vachanik and then on Bond. And here's Ray. 2 minutes for roughing. There's where the penalty was called. And watch Lambert come in. And give Lambert credit. He really didn't go back too hard at Robbery. He knew that there was a penalty coming up. And so in Ottawa power play, they have the lead 1-0. 5:41 remaining here in the opening period. Oh! He's going to kick it free. Senators keep it in. York drops it off. Getting around behind the net again for Yashin. Got it out in front. The shot went wide. Yashin scooped it in front again. Albertson turning to York. Over to Lokinen. Lokinen's pass. Bounce right to York again. Beat it into the corner. Taken by Albertson to Yashin. Yashin behind the net. Yashin looking out in front. Still has it back there. Here's Yashin. He squeezed it in front. Tip wide to the corner. Albertson's got it. Albertson sending it back to York. York drops it off to Albertson. Ottawa the man advantage. Into Yashin again. And Shipnick challenges him. Shipnick trying to roll it out. It's picked up by Pekka and slipped around on the other side. Fired by Ward all the way down the ice. And Buffalo will make a quick change. York to pick it up now for Ottawa. 1:09 remaining in the penalty. It is to bring it back again. York through center ice, tipping it in over the line. Broken up by Galley. Galley didn't get it out, but now it'll be taken away to center with Dawn. Dawn flinging one in. Tubner catching up quickly. Back comes Daig. Daig sending one in. Ashik is out to fire one. Puts it around on the glass. Doesn't get it out, though. It's picked in by the Senators, and now it was picked out of the air with a high stick. Ottawa on the power play, trying to make the short passes to the front of the net for scoring chances. Jason Daw moments ago, a huge hit on Jason York. And that's puck pursuit and aggressiveness. And that's part of the game plan for Buffalo. But this is a penalty kill. And still 37 seconds remaining in Ray's penalty. Burridge and Plant to kill off the remainder, or at least attempt to. But a different Ottawa club here tonight. Very much more aggressive and assertive than they were in Game 1, at least here in the first period. Burridge and Plant out to try and take some time off the clock now for Buffalo. Getting involved in the corner with Dave. Left there for Duchesne. Half a minute to go in that power play, and it's worked ahead to Redden. He'll leave it for Duchesne, sending it up to center ice. Worked into the corner. Shannon could not pick it up here. Tossed it around by Cunningworth. Shannon flies it free, giving it to Burridge. Burridge finds an opening, and he sends it right to Tupman. Yeah, that's where Randy Burridge is so valuable. The veteran, he knows what to do in situations. Instead of making a fancy play, he just got it down the ice. Shannon coming right back again. Way offside. Cunningworth stepped in over the line, preceding the pass, and just as the whistle went, the penalty box door opened and Rob Ray steps back out. So the penalty does not hurt Buffalo. And speaking of that, we wish Brian Marchment all the luck in the world. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Less than 4 to go here in the first period.
I'm a soft-spoken kind of guy. There's nothing more important to me than a quiet chat with my son, Shaquille. I just marched to the phone and dialed 1-800-COLLECT. The money I saved him, he can use to buy some new backboards. Take it to the hole, Shaquille. And they wonder where he gets it from.
1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call up to 44%. Cab-forward design means these Dodge cars offer you more. More in terms of room, comfort, and stability. Now we've designed a way to give you something less. Less in the way of monthly payments when you select our lowest interest rates ever for 60 months on Neon, Stratus, and Intrepid ES. Or get up to $1,500 cash back. Announcing the National Dodge Sale. It's never been easier to get into the cars that change everything. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Welcome back. Coming up in our first intermission, Brian Holzinger will be our guest. We'll also have some scores from some other NHL playoff action going on tonight. And Ricky Jim will have highlights from this first period. Let's go back upstairs.
3:41 remaining here in this opening 20 minutes of play in Game 2. Redden moving as far as center. May slipped into him. Back there for Shannon. He'll tap it around to Brad May. May away to center ice. Slipping one into the corner. Trying to hustle in there. Yeah. And apparently they didn't wait long enough, and it's an icing against Buffalo. I was mentioning a moment about Brian Marchment. For those who did not see the play or had not heard about it, he took an awful tumble into an open penalty box door last night in the game in Dallas while playing for the Edmonton Oilers, to the point where the doctors were out on the ice, and it was a very, very scary moment. We are told, however, today that they feel that Marchment is going to recover completely. He won't be playing hockey for a while, but that's good news for Brian Marchment, the Edmonton Oilers, Brian's wife, and his 3 children. So. Pekka and Yashin are out for this face-off. Now check it. It's McEachern against Pekka. Taken away by Zhitnik. Flip it ahead. Tap through center, but Yashin knocks it down. Guns it right back in again. Go to McEachern. Fed it across ice. Picked up by Ward. High in the air to center. Broken and got in front of that. Now here's McEachern. He's got the speed, but getting over the line. After it is Schmeling. Schmeling. Around to Daw. Daw flipped it. And it bounces back and is taken by Zhitnik. Zhitnik in over the Ottawa line. Trying to fly it free. Left it in front. It's stolen away and sent to center ice, where Ward recovers, clears it into Pekka. The quick shot right off over top of the net. Now it comes back and it bounces out to center. Pekka may have got a piece of that one. Left there to Lokinen. Lokinen pulling free from Pekka. Sends it up ahead through the middle. Balk took a bump, but got it to center ice to Lambert. And through the middle is Galley to mix it up with Lambert. Back through the middle again to Holzinger, darting in over the line, leaving it to Audette. He drops it off to Galley. Galley in the backhand at the side of the net. Oh, behind the net again. Holzinger kicking it into the corner. Here's Murray firing in there. Held in. Oh, Galley missed it. He tried to boot it along the boards again and couldn't do it. Galley once more for Audette. It jumped away from him, but he charges after it in the corner. Run in there and got a piece of Pacheco. Back behind the net. Holzinger work it out in front. That hit a skate. Alfredson got it around on the glass, off the skate and down the ice. Wilson is back quickly for Buffalo. Wilson had to work one through the middle and missed everybody, and that's going to be against Buffalo as Wilson was knocked down by Cunningworth.
Boy, an excellent job, though, by Ottawa. Mike Wilson had nobody to pass the puck to. The Sabres were well covered. The Senators, one of the keys for tonight for Jacques Martin's hockey club was to control the neutral zone. They've certainly done that in the first period. Here's another thing. Buffalo with a chance to shoot the puck a couple of times. Look at this. And they end up getting a weak backhand off the side of the net. They have only 5 shots on goal. Another one of our keys was to pursue the puck and pressure Ottawa. They have not done that.
Speared out by Wilson. Tapped right back in again. Shannon knocking it down. Shannon trying to get away at center ice. Runs over top of Alfredson. Left for Wilson. He swings it up for Chatan. The pass through the middle to Primo and over the line. Primo barging through the backhand. Tugged up the save. Ryan trying to pick up the loose puck, and Van Allen rattled him from behind. And there's another meeting of the minds.
Now, the great skills of Miroslav Chatan created this scoring chance, and Primo took over once he received the pass. But Chatan is very crafty and clever with the puck. Watch this. Watch the patience, and now the strength of Primo as he bursts to the net. 3 Senators trying to take him off the puck, and they cannot do it. I've seen a lot of players improve through the course of a year, but in the last month of the season, I don't think I've ever seen anyone step forward like Primo has done. He has really improved his game and impressed a lot of people. And that's why he's still here in Buffalo. He's earned the opportunity to play, and mentally Ted Nolan is showing lots of confidence in him.
Just a little over a minute to go here in the opening period.
Now, sometimes a play like that can fire up teammates and turn the momentum around, because it has been mostly in the direction of Ottawa this period. We'll see if that play by Primo fires up the Sabres.
Simply drops it off for Lokinen. Cleared as far as center ice, knocked down there, but carrying on Zoltan. Zoltan to the Buffalo line, scoops it in over the line, and is shot by Chorsky, taken out of play. And now we've got Chorsky and Grosek saying hi there.
Well, Michael Grosek played a very strong 60 minutes of hockey in Game 1. He took 3 minor penalties, and I think that was because of youthful enthusiasm in playing his first playoff game. Now May chatting it up. And I think a good rumble would do Buffalo well.
See many of those in the playoffs, though.
Too many, but they're going to, perhaps before this game is over, try to get one going. Ottawa, very disciplined hockey club, the least penalized team in the NHL. Buffalo, the second most penalized team.
Yeah, well, see, that's the other point. In order to dance, you got to have a partner.
You got to have a partner, and part of the Ottawa Senators' game plan is to try to draw Buffalo into aggressive penalties.
Swung to Lokinen. He tips it as far as center ice. That's cranked off the boards. May slapping it in, but Pitlick gets it back. Pitlick sending it to center. Galley comes through the middle to step into Dackel. Buffalo coming back to May. May in over the line. Got it in front of the net. It's cleared too far for Shipnick. Shipnick after the puck. Oh, he keeps it in there. Into the corner to Plant. Plant's got it in front. May couldn't connect as he gets taken down. Here's Galley's shot at the flex. Ottawa coming back trying to set up a 2-on-1. But it's called, and they'll bring it back on the offside, and we're going to get a penalty in any event. And that will go to the Senators.
Well, some good pressure finally by Buffalo in the zone as they are slowly taking over this game here late in this period. And a power play with 27.3 seconds interference penalty called against the Senators. Lokinen. Here's Brad May on his way to the front of the net, drawing a crowd. An interference penalty to Lokinen.
Well, he could have had Tommy Chorsky for the same call, I think. So picked on 27 instead of 17. So we're down to 27.3 seconds remaining in the period. Charging in there, tried to flip it back to the point, but he got taken down. He was after it again. That's got it. On the wall, sent to Ward. Swing it back. Schmellick's long shot. That misses. Shannon pushes in and holds it in. Rip it to the blue line again. Shannon trying to keep it in. Gets knocked down, but got it into Audette. Fired it back to the point. Schmellick trying to keep it in and does. Sending it in behind the goal. He's got turned around as the buzzer will bring the first period to an end.
And a solid 20 minutes of play for Ottawa, scoring the only goal on Dominic Hasek, that by Dackel early in the period. But Ottawa, a much different hockey club here tonight. More aggressive, more focused. Although the Sabres, I thought in the last 5 minutes, started to come on.
And to begin the second period, Buffalo will find themselves still on the power play with a minute and a half left in Lokinen's penalty. Another sold-out crowd inside that building, the Marine Midlands Arena.
Comparing a Sierra to anything else in the corral is like comparing a champion thoroughbred to a petting zoo pony. Because right now, you get the room, the comfort, and 230 of the most powerful horses out there. All at a price that's beyond compare. Lease a Sierra for just $299 a month for 36 months or get 7.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 60 months. See your Empire State GMC dealer today.
If you're having debt problems, we can help. We're Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Buffalo.
I felt my whole world was crashing down. You were very understanding and worked out a payment program with my creditors. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have gone bankrupt.
Our counseling is free and confidential. We're here to help. Call 854-1710.
Sometimes, your day is filled with twists and turns. Handle it. Dunlop Tires. Made with pride in Western New York.
Patients are surprised to find that at Erie County Medical Center, they have cardiac surgery of international quality.
Dr. John Bell Thompson, Director of Cardiothoracic Surgery at ECMC.
The commitment we made, the equipment we have, and the team that pulls it all together is what makes us as good as we are.
If you're facing cardiac surgery or have questions about your heart, count on Western New York's heart surgery leader, ECMC.
In the world of tools, there's only one true craftsman. Craftsman makes anything possible. Yeah.
Welcome back to our first intermission here of Sabres playoff hockey on the Empire Sports Network. Ottawa leading Buffalo 1-0 after one period of play. Brian Holzinger is our guest here in the first intermission. Are you surprised that Ottawa came out so strong and so much better than they played Thursday night?
Well, not really. This is the type of hockey that got them into the playoffs in the first place, and we knew this game was going to be tougher than the first game, and they're playing desperate right now. We started to pick up our game a little bit in the second half of that period, but hopefully that'll carry over into this period and we can step it up even more.
What are they doing differently specifically? Are they just playing a little more physical and a little harder?
Well, yeah, I think so. Their intensity level is really picked up a little bit. They're playing the body a little bit more, and there's some big hits out there. But we're getting some chances. We just got to keep going to the net and getting some shots on net.
What else can you do to combat that?
Well, again, this is going to be a game of special teams, and right now we're on the power play again. This will be the second one of the game, and we need to create some good scoring opportunities on this power play and hopefully get one here.
Were you happy with the effort in Game 1? I know the team was. You certainly had a terrific playoff game, but you do have some playoff experience.
Yeah, I do. Just 4 games, I guess, if you want to call that playoff experience. But it helps when you're in the playoffs for the second time. You play with a lot more confidence, and we're pretty happy with the way things went the first game, but it's only one game of a long series, and anything can happen once you get to the playoffs, and we realize that. And every game's going to be harder to win. Game 2 is more important than Game 1, and Game 3 is going to be more important than Game 2. So we need this one bad.
On this team, 4 games as a veteran in the playoffs. But speaking of the veterans, there are some guys with some playoff experience. Gary Galley and Randy Burge. They're really stepping it up this time of year for the team too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and they've been our leaders all year, and those are the guys that we look to in the playoffs to maybe get us that big goal or get us that big hit, and maybe give us some advice when we need some. But yeah, they've been leaders for us. They're proving it on the ice, and they're proving it in the locker room. So we look up to those guys.
All right, thanks very much, Brian Holzinger, our guest here in the first intermission. When we come back, we'll check out some scores from around the National Hockey League and the other playoff action going on tonight. In this game, the Senators lead the Sabres 1-0 after 1.
Something fragile belongs in the safest possible container. That's especially true with your children, which could be why, with safety features like 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, side door intrusion beams, and more, Ford Windstar is the #1 selling minivan in Western New York. And now with $1,000 cash back with a purchase or red carpet lease of a Windstar, it's more affordable to put yourself and a half dozen others in a safe place. Put your family in a Windstar at your local Ford dealer today.
about to learn may excite you. Because the fact is, it will help increase performance. I'm talking about Gulf. 93-octane super unleaded gasoline. It's quality you won't find from every major brand. Gulf's Advent 21 formula keeps fuel injectors clean and helps your car run better than ever before. So switch. For the life of your car. You know the name. Go Gulf.
I think I'm dreaming. Pinch me.
She's Olga Jenkins from Putnam Lake, New York, the latest winner of $1,000 a week for life.
What am I going to do with the money?
What are we going to do with it? She should buy some filet mignon.
Hey, she could rent 100 movies a day.
Now she can switch to high test.
She should get her hair done every day.
I'd tell her to take a trip to Aruba.
So, Olga, you going to share it with your husband?
Can I think about that one?
Win for life. You keep living, we'll keep paying.
In aims to answer the call of the wild, one must soar with the grace and ease of the majestic eagle. Have the heart and soul of the mighty bear. And seek comfort in the great outdoors. It is here that our ancient spirits find a balanced path in our civilized world.
Welcome back to our first intermission here on the Empire Sports Network, where Ottawa leads Buffalo 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. Well, this is not the only Eastern Conference playoff game going on this evening. There are some other games to speak of, and all the home teams won in the Eastern Conference in Game 1, all of them trying to make it 2-0, 2 in a row. One of those teams is New Jersey. They have a goal from John McClain and lead Montreal 1-0 in the first period. Mario Lemieux, who was held pointless in Game 1, has scored for the Pittsburgh Penguins as they're trying to even that series at 1. They lead Philadelphia 1-0 in the first period. New York and Florida, the other Eastern Conference game, will be played tomorrow afternoon. Rick Jenneret and Jim Lorenz will be back with highlights from the first period here at the Marine Midland Arena. The Sabres are trailing the Senators 1-0 after 1.
Introducing the BMW 328i, equipped with all-season traction. Because you never know when you're going to run into a little ice. Stop dreaming. Start driving.
Town BMW on Orchard Park Road, Western New York's largest BMW retailer.
They're really your employees, but they feel a lot like your family. You're fond of many of them, and accustomed to the rest of them. And for almost 60 years, GHI has been helping employers like you give their employees the kind of health care they want. Employees get direct access to doctors and hospitals throughout New York State, and you get a reasonable price tag for it all. GHI, we put the care back in health care.
Come on, show me your new smile. Oh, I see. We're all grown up now. Pretty soon, it'll be boyfriends, tuition, a wedding. No, sorry, just kidding. I suppose pretty soon you'll be needing a car.
Really?
Really? That's a smile.
Dad.
Oh, that was a smile. I think we can take the check. Check, please.
The Stanley Cup playoffs, a time when every play is crucial and every game is sudden death. Players hit harder, skate faster, dig deeper, because a season full of success means nothing unless you win in the playoffs. A whole new season begins as the NHL's best compete in the quest for the cup.
The quest for the Cup continues Sunday at 2 on Fox 29, Cable 6.
We are the only sports news that takes you live to the game sites across America every night with our exclusive Fox scans.
Let's go live to the Great Western Forum.
Kobe, 22 minutes, 21 points.
Locker room scoops from 45 arenas.
Let's go live to the Kiel Center.
It was a great bounce-back effort by everyone.
40 announced teams covering hundreds of games.
Live to the summit. We're very concerned about his health.
Fox Scan, why we alone can say at Fox Sports News, we are there.
The Ottawa Senators strike for the first time, and as it turns out, the only time in the first period to enjoy the 1-0 lead. The Senators certainly are a much more physical hockey club tonight than they were in Game 1.
Well, I know they surprised me. I wonder if they surprised the Buffalo Sabres. Certainly a very aggressive team in Ottawa playing their game. That was one of the keys to tonight. They did not do that in Game 1. Tonight they are playing their game, although the Sabres, I thought, really came on toward the end of that first period. We want to look at the only goal of the period, an excellent play by Zoltov as he goes around the outside. Jay McKenna, here are the participants in this play. The challenge, the one-on-one challenge here, and there's going to be a one-on-one challenge between these two. That's Primo on the right, Dackel is number 10, and here goes Zoltak around the outside of McKee with a half a step. Stop it again right here, and there's the matchup on the rebound. Primo does not tie up Dackel's stick, and Dackel puts in the loose puck for the only score of the period. And again, from the look, you can see the half step or the step that Zoltak has to go around McKee, and Primo just fails to tie up Dackel. 1-0.
And Zoltak, who the Senators got from Las Vegas in the International Hockey League, setting up Dackel's first of this National Hockey League playoff to put the Ottawa Senators in the lead after one period of play. But as we mentioned, there were plenty of hard hits in this game by both teams, including the Karuba collision. Make the right decision, insist on Karuba collision. This is Jason York going back after the puck, and here comes Smoke him in behind the net. And that was one of many big hits in the first period, including Lance Pitlick on Michael Pekka. So the Buffalo Sabres find themselves down by 1 after 1 at the Marine Midland Arena.
It's difficult to improve on works of nature, but somehow we managed. Introducing the new Jeep Cherokee. With over 40 advancements, it's not just different, it's better. Now lease the new Jeep Cherokee for just $239 a month. Check one out at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
If your bank is going through a lot of changes lately, now's the time to change to M&T. We're offering great rates, like our 13-month CD at 6% and a 30-month CD at 6.5%. A free $50 U.S. savings bond when you open your CD, and more ways to make banking more convenient for you. So make a change for the better and change to M&T, all the bank you'll ever need.
In an era when doctors don't make house calls and shopping is done in impersonal strip malls, why does John Deere have dealers that still deliver, that help you with parts and service, and answer questions on lawn care? Are we behind the times, or just prouder of the products we stand behind? To find out, why not ask your John Deere dealer? He's right where you need him.
See your local John Deere dealer, D.W. Carl in Sanborn or Drake Lawn and Garden in Clarence Center.
Pizza Hut employee memo number 22. Questions. Okay, a customer walks in and asks you,
"What's the deal with the pizzeria stuffed crust pizza in this challenge?"
And the answer is,
well, we dare you to find a better pizza for the money.
And why are we so confident?
Specially blended sauce.
Good. Anyone else?
The not too thick, not too thin crust?
You're on a roll.
The ring of cheese baked right into the edge?
People, you're missing the key ingredient.
That's easy. It's the dough.
Yep. At $9.99 for a large one-top, folks just aren't going to find a better pizza value for the dough.
That's what I said. The dough.
Making it great again and again.
When you let your clothes do all the talking...
Some for Bob's delivery?
No way.
You could end up delivering all the wrong messages. Call Cintas.
How are we today?
Fine, thank you.
Our uniforms make sure your business is always well received.
Sabres Playoff Hockey is brought to you in part by your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. Cars you can trust from people you can depend on. And by Tops Friendly Markets. Tops never stops saving you more. As the teams make their way back out onto the ice, we'll take a look at our stats from that opening period of play. Pretty even, really.
Yeah, in game one, Buffalo really controlled the faceoffs, but so far not here tonight. The scoring chances tilted in Ottawa's favor. And at one time, we had the hits in the first period, 8 for Ottawa, 1 for Buffalo, and they ended up 9-8 in favor of Ottawa. And that was a result of the Sabres playing strongly in the last 7 or 8 minutes of the opening period. Tucknut, really not much to do. Fires shots on goal. He did have 6, but his club not giving up many scoring or quality scoring chances. And Michael Pekka was decked with a huge check from Picklick early in the period, but came back and put in 6 shifts, a shot, and 1 hit. And Pekka continues to play against the line of Alexei Yashin, Kekrin, and Gartner. No shots on goal for Yashin. You know, Jacques Martin was talking the other night after the game and talking again this morning at his morning press conference. He says, I like the matchup with Yashin and Pekka, and he has not tried to move Yashin away. And we'll see what happens when the series moves to Ottawa, but he claims that it's fine with him.
Well, the series will move to Ottawa. In fact, I believe the Senators are leaving tonight right after the game. They have a chartered aircraft to fly home, but the Sabres are leaving tomorrow morning to go to Ottawa for Game 3 on Monday and Game 4 on Wednesday.
Well, you'll have another opportunity to go in and speak to the House of Commons just up around the corner.
I'll straighten another sons of guns out for you.
Another command performance. Yeah. Buffalo will begin the second period on the power play as the Senators are shorthanded with Luukkonen in the box. 1 minute, 33 seconds remaining in the Sabre power play. And special teams. The coaches are talking special teams, players. I know in that first intermission, Dennis Williams guest, as Holzinger talking about special teams, and here's an opportunity for the Sabres to score. And Donald Audette is one of the guys that they look toward. Watch for Audette in front of that net, parked to the right of the goaltender. That's where he likes to go, and the Sabres will try to get him the puck. Shatan also on this power play.
Well, here we go. Second period. Van Allen take the face off. It's tipped back. York worked it ahead, and Schmelik gives it to Galley. Galley will try and settle it down. Around to Schmelik again. That's by Pennyworth. Tip free to Plant. Plant slipping it across ice, jumped away from Galley, but Galley got it to center to Schmelik. Schmelik in over the line, tried to scoop it back, but by that time Audette was offside. Let's go down now to Dennis Williams.
Thanks, guys. I just talked to assistant coach Don Lever before the start of this period. He started out by giving Ottawa credit for coming out as physically playing as hard as they did. It really threw the Sabres off their game. They weren't sure how to react to it. It's a young team. They're not really used to that. So they talked in the intermission about playing a little more composed, a little more controlled, and getting back to playing their game, not over pursuing the puck in the offensive zone. Let's go back upstairs to Rick and Jim.
Bryant and Gardner on this face-off. Galley trying to swing one across ice. Charging in there, rung around on the boards. Galley getting there to keep it in. Galley now leaving it to Shatan, scooping it in for Audette. Back to Galley. He works it on the other side. Now gets it back from Schmelik. Schmelik took a one-timer fan on it. Plant in the corner, giving it to Shatan. Tried to work it in front. He's backed around on the boards again. Plant chops it back. Here's Schmelik keeping it in. Feeding it back into the corner. Plant charging in there. Got it around to Audette. Audette pushing after the puck now. Gets tied up. Got it to Galley. There's Schmelik. Schmelik took a shot. Up in the goal. It's scooped around the boards. Galley keeping it in there. Galley back at the point. He'll give it to Shatan. Shatan drops it off to Audette. Better than Audette. Couldn't get there in time. They'll bank it ahead. Now it got by Audette and down the ice. Ashik works it ahead for Shatan. The team's changing. Kicked at center. Van Allen took it away. Schmelik breaks it up but can't get anywhere. Then Van Allen gets knocked down. And the Senators are returning to full strength. Galley flipping it up on the wing. Hit the far center. Van the play up again. Galley turning in the corner to get away from Honeyworth. Flipped it ahead and bounced on the skate right to Pekka, and it was picked out of the air, so that will be a stick that was knocked down above the shoulders.
Going back to what Don Lever, assistant coach, told Dennis Williams after that first period, composure, holding on to your composure is so important. Guys like Michael Pekka, who do not have a lot of playoff experience, sometimes do not know how to react when the club show, when your opposition does something unexpected, because I don't think they expected Ottawa to play as physical as they did in the opening period. And it took them a while to make an adjustment. Playoff experience, the Sabres do not have a whole lot, but they have more than Ottawa.
Did not catch up with it in center. Daw taps it back, and it's fed up on the wing. Here's Ward, the pass, and Pekka couldn't get out. Pekka hit from the this time goes down. Sent away to center ice, and Yashin could not catch up with the puck. Yashin will knock Shannon around the boards. Chorsky keeping it in. It's knocked down in the corner. Now flip 3, back at center. Pitlick took it away. Work it ahead. Keckern got flattened by Daw, but cleared it in. Sent back behind the net. Ripped up ahead for Ward. Ward, the cross ice pass. That's kicked ahead, but the Senators got it back at least momentarily. Knocked down at center and whipped in. Hashik handles it to Wilson. Wilson for Ward. Ward takes a look, trying to pass through the middle. Bonk picked that one off. Right at Bonk. He'll just scoop one in. And hustling after it, but Hashik helps it all the way around to Daw. Didn't get it out. Bonk keeping it in. Shannon after it again. Comes it to the other side. And it deflects to the blue line. Not out. Senators keeping it in. Here's Lambert getting it in front. Get back into the corner. Dig gets taken down by Shannon. Lambert got a piece of Shannon, but the puck comes to center ice. Dead back for Lambert again. He scoops it in. Ottawa changing. Hashik banking one off the boards to center ice. Trying to get away. Burridge, who got slowed down on the play by York. Wilson couldn't come up with the puck. It's picked up. Two Senators collide in over the line, but play has been called.
I believe the referee called a hand pass, but Buffalo on a 3-on-2 break charging into the Ottawa zone. And with the score 1-0, we'll return after these messages.
Can you guess whose new Lumina came with 3 years of scheduled maintenance at no additional charge? And who won't be paying for gas for 1 whole year? Chevy Lumina buyers could be the most worry-free people around, because now you can get scheduled maintenance for 3 years or gasoline for 1 year at no additional charge. Chevy Lumina. For just $249 a month, who wouldn't be a happy camper? See your local Chevrolet dealers.
Face-off outside the blue line, almost where Dackel and Chorsky ran into one another, the two Ottawa players. They're a little slow at getting up, but they're all right. In fact, they stay out there. Back at center, Schmeling can catch one in. Redden pucks it off the boards to center ice. Covered again by Buffalo and fired up for Audette too far. Audette breaks it out. He's going to get there in time. That's going to turn into an icing charged against Buffalo.
Buffalo Sabres look to players like Donald Audette in games or series such as this to score you goals, because that's what Audette does so well. Randy Burridge last game contributed with a excellent goal, the third goal of the game to make it 3-1 by putting the puck up underneath the crossbar. And of course Holzinger with a goal and an assist in game 1.
He's playing on 3.5 minutes in this period. There's only been one shot on goal, and that by Buffalo.
Yeah, and this is right into Ottawa's game plan here to slow down, to slow the momentum down, the pace of the game when you're playing on the road. That's what you like to do. And so far here in the early going in the second, the Senators have done that.
Tipped in the circle, kept in by Ottawa. The quick shot, Hasek no difficulty, finds Burridge. Burridge coming to center. He wheels it ahead. Holzinger is called on the offside. Now, boy, can he sail through the middle.
He gets there in a hurry, doesn't he? First you saw him at the red line, the center ice line, and a second later he's inside the blue line. But this was awfully close. I think Holzinger roars down the middle of the ice as well as any player in the league. It was called offside, but he was home free on the goaltender. So just a second of missed timing results in an offside. The line of Plant, Groshek, and May, or I beg your pardon, it's Chatan. So some giant line juggling going on here by Ted Nolan.
Shane working it ahead. That'll be flipped in as Hughes finds his back. McKee after it in the corner. Left by Pennyworth. To the blue line, not out, and now Plant helps it out over the line. Kick at it again. It's knocked back in, and this is just an offside. This is an awful tight quarters at this moment.
Miroslav Chatan in the hospital a couple of days ago. They weren't sure what was the matter with him, and I don't think they found out yet for sure. But back in the lineup tonight, playing in his first playoff game. Brad May had been playing on this line, and this line with Plant, Groshek, and May had been one of Buffalo's best in the opening game. But now our line switch is Chatan is playing the wing.
He had some problems, but got it up to Chatan for Plant. Plant at center ice, tried to swing it to Groshek, went behind him. Right back and dumped in by Duchesne, and Groshek got a chunk of him. Here's McKee, working one to center ice. Groshek through the middle, runs into Buchanan. It's taken away by the Senators, now stolen, and Groshek comes in over the line. Groshek trying to push it, goes behind the net. He got slowed down, it's worked on the boards. Groshek after it again, and keeping it in there. Shoveling it back in, Buchanan drills it to the other side. McKee pitches in. He holds it in, at least momentarily. After it again, came to the line, not out. Now it's cleared and finally goes to center, where Galley picks it up and scoops it right back in again. It's picked up in the air by Buchanan, chopping it off the boards to Van Allen. He sends it to center. Alfredson got squeezed out by Plant. Here's Galley taking a hit from Pennyworth, and Pennyworth trying to apply the coup de grace. The fans didn't like that. Sending it up to May at center. May in over the line, getting around Wilkinen to put the lumber on him. And back behind the net. Falling into the corner, flecting his check. It's worked around to the boards. Cleared up to center. Gardner starting back. Gardner in over the line. Wilson takes him out, and the linesman gets flattened. That's Mike Civic, who's very slow at getting to his feet.
Well, what a sequence of hits by Buffalo that began back in the Ottawa zone and ended up at the Ottawa bench with Mike Wilson and the linesman involved. And that turns on the crowd here at Marine Midland Arena. And the Sabres need the crowd in this hockey game.
Now Wilson and Civic are comparing notes. It was Wilson who decked the linesman after trying to get the Ottawa player.
I give Ted Nolan some credit here. He is mixing his lines up. Now he's got Pekka between May and Ray to play against the Yashin line. They want to stir things up. That's the reason for this change.
Well, they don't drop it right, so they'll do it again. 14 and a half minutes remaining in the second period.
And I think that's one of the big advantages for a coach, the ability to make adjustments as the game goes on. And I think Ted Nolan has a great feel for the game and what works and what doesn't at certain times.
Ray tips it out to center to May. Couldn't get away. May after it again. Cuts in front of Lokinen. Jams it to the corner. Back to the point. Tipped in by Shannon. He'll slip it around behind the net. Go back in the other direction. May got it right out in front. And back in the corner again. Gardner getting turned around. Wilson keeping it in. His long shot goes wide. Pekka holding after it again. Ducks away from Lokinen's check, and May went sailing in there. Banging bodies in the corner. Comes to center, but it's tipped back in the other direction. Gardner getting checked at the line. Delayed offside against Ottawa, set to to center to Ray. Ray flipping it in over the line. Bucking with Lambert. Buffalo changes. Pitlick comes up with the puck. Pitlick now trying to work it out of there. He almost gave it away, but he got it as far as center ice. Wilson taking it back. Wilson's pass up to Audette. Audette to the Ottawa blue line and over to Bishop. Back off the boards, and Paul sends it out and slaps it down the ice. Shipnick sailing back after it. Lambert trying to keep an eye on him. Over to Shannon. Shannon uses the boards to find Burridge. Burridge through center. Audette racing in there. Put it away, but it's kept in. Audette again. Bumped in the corner. Ludovic check thrown out and by Burridge. It's sent to the other side to the blue line and out to center. Senators coming back with Lambert's long shot. Hashik handling that one. Sweeping it around into the corner. Attempting to get it out. Shipnick is challenged in there. It's not free and taken by Burridge. Burridge wheeling it through center ice. Here's Schmillick can't get away, and that'll be offside at the Ottawa blue line. Senators still sitting on the 1-goal lead.
Yourself, Mom and Dad are gonna love you. Hi, honey. Mom, hi, Dad. Hey.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Welcome to the family, Bobo.
Make it a Bud Light.
So what line of work are you in?
Now, folks, let's roll back the pages to a playoff memory, one of the most famous calls in Buffalo Sabres history. Rick Jenneret calls it. He gets tripped up, gets it to May, and over the line. Here's May going in, goal, he shoots. And Wooden Brad May like to do that again in this hockey game. Plant trying to come up with it now at center ice. Gackle took it away, and they'll get involved. It's brought in over the line by Chorsky. He'll flip one into the corner. There's a penalty coming up here to Buffalo. And his shot going wide of the net. Shatan cannot get there in time, but Channing keeping it in. Sabres finally touched the puck. They really didn't have possession, but the whistle went anyway. Well, Derek Plant ran into Zoltak and is going to the penalty box. 2 minutes for interference. And now let's go downstairs, and here's Dennis Williams.
Thanks very much. The Sabres taking center stage right now with the playoffs going on, but there's a Bills draft going on too right now, and they got a #1 pick, a running back from Houston named Antoine Smith. What do you think of the pick, Steve Tasker?
It's a real good pick. I think they were excited that the guy fell down that far. Nobody thought he would. He's a big back. He's really fast, runs well in the open field. It's going to be nice to have him in there with Derek and Thurman, and you know, I know he can learn a lot from watching Thurman play. Thurman's a great guy to have around to learn from too. So I look for big things from the guy. Also, he's a couple of years older than most rookies, so he's going to be a little bit more mature, and he's going to fit in a little better, I think.
All right, Steven, you're enjoying the game with your son, Deacon.
Oh yeah, it's great. We love the Sabres.
All right, thanks very much. Let's go back upstairs.
Shannon gets it to Pekka, coming 2-on-1 with Ward. He's getting across to him. Hit a skate, trying to get it to Dixon Ward. Pekka through the middle as he stepped into Alfredson, but it's called on the offside.
Well, some excitement again. Buffalo shorthanded. Michael Pekka, one of the best in the league at penalty killing. His first NHL goal against Ottawa, a shorthanded tally. And moments ago, he attempted to set up Dixon Ward. Here's the play. Watch the puck just glance off the skate of the defenseman. Dixon Ward, I was talking to Dixon this morning about penalty killing with him and Michael Pekka, and he said the most important thing for us is to make the safe play first And he said, if that offensive opportunity presents itself, then we go. And they did that time.
Duchesne now tapping it up on the wing to Chorski at center. Lokinen checked that. He dumps it in. Yali, Alfredson collide along the wall. Pekka blocks it free. Works it around, and it's fired all the way down the ice.
There's an example of making the safe play. They could have made the play to Shannon and didn't.
As Alfredson tried to get away at center. And it's tapped back in over the line. Charging in there after it goes. Duchesne! Worked around to the boards. Senators Redden. Whips it up to Alfredson at center. Alfredson in over the line. He drops it back to Redden for Duchesne. Let's it go! Hasek to save! Rebound to score! On the rebound, Hasek unable to recover in time, and Duchesne taps it in on the power play to make it a 2-0 lead.
Well, the special teams, we talked about it. The penalty cost Buffalo. Ottawa's game plan, or a part of it, was just to get the puck on the net. Duchesne took the initial shot and ended up scoring on the rebound after taking a huge hit from Jason Daw in the zone. Here's the first shot. Hasek with all kinds of traffic in front, and Duchesne, I mentioned, who is very good inside the line, follows up and pokes the puck between the legs of Hasek. And now the Sabres have really got their work cut out for him. Down 2-0.
No change up on defense. With the Holzinger line coming out. Holzinger against Van Allen to take the faceoff. Well, one in the first and one here in the second. Back behind the net, Shannon works it over to Audette. Shannon again. He'll tip it to Wilson. Wilson's pass through the middle, but it hit a skate, and the Senators charge in after it again. Left there, and now fired right in front of the net, but it's kicked away. Around to the boards, York keeping it in. He took a check. Here's Cunningworth's shot. That's right on. But it's booted away to Shannon, who scoops it out at center. Audette starting to the Ottawa line. Drops it off to Holzinger. Trying to get it back to Audette. Jammed into the corner. Burridge comes up with the puck. He leaves it there. He'll get after it again. He goes after it, but it's clear to the blue line, and the Senators will take it away to center. Worked up ahead. In over the line. Geithner going wide. Rubbed it back, and a shot right on by York. Shannon took a bump, but slides it up to Audette. Audette sending it through center. 3-on-1. Burridge. Holzinger. Burridge scores! Randy Burridge comes right back on a give and go with Brian Holzinger to put Buffalo on the board. It's 2-1.
Goal by Randy Burridge, and what a play in the neutral zone. Ottawa gets caught, and it ends up with this beautiful passing play, and Burridge puts it in. It was Zoltan, the forward, covering up for his defenseman who got caught in the neutral zone. And remember, our key tonight for Ottawa, one of them was for them to be solid between the blue lines, and they were not. It cost them yet another goal.
The Marine Midland Arena sold out crowd right into it again. Taking it center by McKee. He swings a backhand in, but it's going to pop out of play.
Well, Jay McKee was talking this morning about how excited he was to participate in his first NHL game. And I'm sure that he got some advice from Randy Burridge. Burridge is the most experienced Sabre in playoffs. He scores his second from Brian Holzinger and Donald Audette.
Yali. Going to duck away at center. Does. Flipped it ahead. Gets it again. Another shot that Tubman can handle and hang on to. He saw May and Primo coming.
Interesting, isn't it, Bill? Ted Nolan comes right back with the bangers to keep the momentum going. Primo, May, Ray, they have one thing on their mind, to get things stirred up in the zone, to try to turn the momentum and get this crowd, or keep this crowd in the game. This hockey club of Nolan's all season long has shown great character. Ottawa makes it 2-0, a very emotional power play goal, and Buffalo roars back seconds later to get right back in the game.
And the smoke from the snorting Buffalo and the Jumbotron is still hanging over the ice. May had it in the corner, right to the goal crease. Swirsky will chip it out to center. Here comes Ottawa, 2-on-1. Dackle in over the line. Dackle a shot. Has it, the save. And McKee is back to scoop it up. McKee swinging around again. Can't get it out. Goes after it once more. And he loses control. Get back into the corner. Senators keeping it in. Chopped in front of the net. Now taken away. And Ray banks it out to center ice. Ilokinen coming up with it. Ilokinen for Pitlick. Pitlick had it ahead for Zoltak. Zoltak clearing it to Lambert. Lambert is hammered by Ray right at center. He's looking around for 32, but he doesn't have to look far. He knows he'll be hanging close. Galley's long shot. Tubnut picks that one up. Changes. May went flying in there. Galley keeps it in with his glove. It's knocked down and jammed out to center. And racing after it, Dave, but Hasek is back quickly to swing it around behind the net. Plant can't catch up with it. Back into the corner. Taken away by Buffalo and Plant again. Plant leaving it there, and it's sent away to center ice. Finally flipped in by Ray, who won his way off on a change. May goes flying in there. May's got it in the corner. Here's May turning again. May still with the puck. Trying to dump it behind the net. Goes to Chatan. Chatan fending off the check. Hooks it free. Goes after it again. Chatan clearing it back to Schmeling. Schmeling took his shot. Deflected wide. Shipnick down low. Shipnick roars into the corner. Trying to keep it in there for Buffalo. Cross check from behind. Plant can't control it. Gets it back again. Derek Plant scoops it back into the corner. Here comes Shipnick. Breaking off Duchesne. They jam on the boards again. It goes all the way to center. Racing after it is Dave. Dave fills up his shot. And it's cleared away to center ice. Plant coming back. Derek Plant into Ottawa territory. Grosek throws it off the skate. Does not. Back in the corner. Chatan's after it again. So is Plant. They poke away at the puck. Chatan keeping it in there. Got it to Plant. Plant feeds it to Chatan. Chatan to Plant. Into the corner it goes. Back in front of the net. Here's a walk out of Chatan behind the goal. Chatan out in front. Tipped in by Buffalo. A shot hit the goal post. Another shot is cleared away. Dumped to the blue line. Plant came back to take out his check. Sabres trying to make a change. Brought right back in with Shannon. Shannon took his shot. Went over top of the net. Stepped around to the boards. Wilson keeping it in. That's knocked down and it's kicked to center ice. Going back after it, Grosek. Grosek didn't get it. Came in front. Gardner slapped it wide. Gardner then gave it away to Grosek. And Grosek using the glass. Got it to the blue line. Not out. Loken and heft it in. Here it is in front again. Another shot. Gardner didn't get his shot away. Back to the point. Tipped in now by Pitlick. Oh, and Pitlick got the stick up on Wilson on the offside. And there was no penalty called there. Oh, they're rocking and rolling in the Marine Midland Arena.
Chevy Blazer's exclusive driver control system keeps you in control of the road, while Chevy Blazer keeps you in control of your budget. With a special offer that lets you drive one for just $289 a month, Blazer is loaded with features and priced thousands less than the competition. See your local Chevrolet dealer and drive one home for just $289 a month. And please, try to control yourself until you get your own.
With the score 2-1, Dominic Hasek is called upon to make this stop. A point-blank save, use of the stick in front of the net as he tips the puck away from Gartner.
Well, back at center, Loken will slow this one in off the glass. Tipped around to the boards. Trying to knock it free, and it's chopped across ice for Daw to Wilson. Wilson attempting to lead the rush, gets in over the line, left it Daw, couldn't get there in time. at center. Across for Penka, covering up for his defenseman Wilson. Tipped into Daw. Lokanen steps in front of him. Watches him. Penka went sailing in there. Around on the boards again and taken by McEachern. McEachern through center ice, winding up with a shot that deflects. Tapped back into the corner. And the Sabres recovering again. Wilson steering it behind the net. Shannon's got it there. Shannon scooped it, didn't get it up though. It's kept in by Ottawa. Rolled back along the wall. And recovered by Shannon, who feeds it to center ice. Duchesne tipping one through the middle. It'll be brought in over the line, but this is offside again. As Cunneyworth brought it in, preceded by Alfredson.
I thought that was a very weak play by Alfredson. He knew that that was going to be offside and made no effort at all to try to straddle the blue line. And that makes coaches very angry. You give up an offensive opportunity or a rush. Jacques Martin doesn't like that. You can tell by the look in his face. But I think overall, he has to be extremely pleased with the way his club has responded here tonight. He was concerned about that. He did not think that they responded well in game one. They didn't work hard enough, did not play with enough intensity, and they deserved to lose. Not so here tonight. They have fought Buffalo every step of the way. Now it's 8-4 shots on goal. The Sabres are really storming the Ottawa zone.
There's Alfredson stumbling in over the line and bumped in there. Now nailed again this time by Grosek, and there's another penalty coming up, elbowing to Grosek.
Now, Grosek took 3 minor penalties in the opening game of this series, and this is a bad one. Their club has got the momentum going, and Grosek gets the elbows up on Alfredson and goes to the box. Youthful enthusiasms can sometimes get the best of you at the wrong time. And here comes Grosek as he rubs the elbow into the side of the head of Alfredson. But we know that Ted Nolan's club is dangerous on penalty killing.
But we also know that Ottawa scored in the last hour.
Sure, they did. It was Duchesne who moved in from his point position to make it 2-0, and then Buffalo got back.
Yashin keeping it in. Lokanen giving it to Yashin again. He'll stuff it down low. Cleveland cross. The rebound. That goes wide. Sidnick scooping it high, and it's going to go right out of play.
Well, you wonder how players can get so alone in front of the goaltender. And McEachern could not put it in. And that promptly, Ted Nolan promptly makes a line change, sending out Michael Pekka along with Dixon Ward. Here's Dominic Hasek in front of the net. McEachern cannot find the handle on it and then slips the second one wide. Poor coverage in front of the net by Buffalo.
6 minutes remaining in the second period. Banked around on the boards to the blue line. Cleared, but not out. And here's Shannon charging after it now. His backhand didn't get it out. Shoveled along the wall. Kepka flies it free and very smartly whips around where there was no traffic and sends it through the middle. Back in the corner. Duchesne is fired again, this time by Ward. The center ice, Yashin hitting the Buffalo line to Alfredson. Alfredson left it for Yashin. Yashin got turned around. They'll jam on the boards, and it's cleared to the blue line. Not out. Duchesne keeping it in. He'll flip it across now to Lokanen. Lokanen. Duchesne, one-timer, and he gunned it off the glass. And Ward flips it and sends it down the ice. And Buffalo hustling to make a change. So are the Senators. Behind the net. Charge in there was Holzinger, but it's worked up to Cunneyworth. Cunneyworth swings in over the line with a shot that Hasek handles, blocks, and then handles again.
Dominic Hasek is the best goaltender in the league at many things, and one of them is making the save, dropping the puck, and keeping the play going, because when that shot comes in and a goaltender has it, the tendency is for the forwards to relax. And Dominic just sort of lost his balance on this play and could not control the puck. He wanted to keep the play going and have the Sabres shoot the puck down the ice, but could not do it.
49 seconds remaining in the penalty. 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Ottawa on top by 1. And they'll keep it in now by scooping it off the boards. Put back today. Wheels it back to the point. Over it comes to York. Sending it around behind the net. Shipnick got involved there, though. Cleared it off the boards. York keeping it in. Now it comes to center ice. Holzinger racing after it. Couldn't get there in time. Back through the middle as Daw comes over and peppers York. Brought in by Holzinger. First shot and fired it wide as he got taken down. And now it's stuffed back and sent to center ice. Zoltak into Buffalo territory. Zoltak leaving it there. Still has the puck. Will jam on the wall again. It's sent into the corner. Swept around by Schmelik to the other side. Schmelik entered again. Cunningham and Shipnick just going at it. Well, Richard Trottier sat there and just let him do it.
He watched them, but I'll tell you, Cunningham did a wise thing, though. Shipnick is down on the ice. Cunningham knew that his hockey club had the pressure on in possession, so he just stayed there and eliminated Shipnick. We'll be back in a moment.
When asked, 9 out of 10 people say they'd rather be on vacation than at home.
Come on. I'm bored. Hey, do not throw the dust.
Of course, most of you people they asked didn't own a John Deere, because in survey after survey, folks are more satisfied with John Deere than other lawn tractors.
Honey, it's green.
It sure is. Nothing runs like a Deere.
See your local John Deere dealer, C.J. Perry & Son in Gasport or Goodrich Farm in Alexander and Oakfield.
Alex Shipnick is in the penalty box for Buffalo. 2 minutes for roughing, and Randy Cunningham 2 minutes for roughing for Ottawa. Still. Now this will be for a side as the Sabres killed off the penalty. So it's Plant along with Audette up front.
Van Allen lost the draw on the Sabres. The puck left back there and picked up now by Donald Audette. Coming with Plant. Audette to the Ottawa line and over. Audette trying to drop it back, but it's intercepted and cleared away to center ice. Van Allen is cut off, though, by Plant, who came back quickly. This will be tipped off the boards. Up to Wilson. He'll give it to Audette. Audette for Wilson. Swings in. Took his shot. Can't get the save. And he hangs on to it. As Mike Wilson jumps right up into the play.
Yes, sir. And Buffalo does this, and I've said this so many times, but it's worth saying again. They move their defensemen up front as well as any team in the NHL. Here's a developing play. Wilson handles the puck and just keeps going to the zone and ends up with this scoring chance. Why in the world did Ottawa back off like that? That was Lokinen. He just backed in inside the blue line. You want a challenge early, and Ottawa did not do that.
This time it's Pekka and Daw out there for Buffalo. Pekka slipped it into the play. Redden, though, scooped it around to the boards. And Yashin feeding it to center ice. Hustling after it, McEachern getting in over the line. McEachern, though, is taken off the puck by Schmelik. Left for Yashin. Yashin behind the net. Yali watching him. Yali and Yashin still has it, but finally is fended off, and it's scooped free and sent to center ice. York will lug it back in again. York is taken up by Daw. McEachern carries on into the corner. Down behind the net. He's still got it. Trying to clear it in front. That's knocked down. Schmelik takes it away. Schmelik trying to fight off a hook. Got it as far as center ice. McEachern then gave it to Schmelik as he goes to the box. Sent ahead for Daw. Daw just flipping one in and heading to the bench himself. Alfredson denied. It's chased around. Center and nails up. Sent around to the board. Shatan got in there. Here's Shatan. The shot! He fired it over top of the net. Wilson keeping it in. Scoops it around for Shatan on the other side. Shatan drops it off to Holzinger. Shatan's got it again. Shatan finally checked by Redden. And Redden clears it to an open wing. After the puck now, Gardner. Gardner hitting the Buffalo line. He whips in over the line. Put his shot. That one goes wide. Hasek kept it back around into the corner. It's recovered and scooped in the other direction. Up for Wilson. Mike Wilson taking a peek. Starts away. The pass at center as the penalized players return. It's dribbled off into the corner. Cuttingworth now just fires it out and sends it all the way down the ice.
Well, that will grant Ottawa a change, but it's costly because it comes on an icing as we go down to Dennis Williams.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in our second intermission, Ottawa's Alexei Yashin will be our guest. Also, Mike Robitaille and Brian Blessing will have playoff highlights from our Empire studios, and Rick and Jim will have highlights of the second period. Let's go back upstairs.
2 minutes, 2 seconds to go here in the second period. Ottawa in the lead by 2-1. Plant, Burridge, and Audette on the ice for Buffalo. Senators with 19 shots on goal, Buffalo with 11. And that's the Ottawa type of game. They limit the scoring chances and the shots on goal, and they've done it tonight.
Ottawa has a goal in each period. Buffalo has theirs here in the second. Galley moving up on the play, working down low, and lost it to Lokanen. Lokanen doesn't get it out, though, goes after it again, and finally it ends up tipped at the line and kicked out. Burridge fend off a check to send it back in. Plant tries it free. Took a bump, but still has possession of the puck. Burridge gets tied up. Going to throw a hat over about 8 players. Key pulling one. Tracking it. Puts it around on the other side. After it, Derek Plant keeping it in, sliding it into the corner. Audette trying to come up with it. So is Burridge. They kick at it. Lokanen comes up with a 10. Lokanen starting away. Attempting to lead the rush as he comes to center ice. He dribbled it in over the line. McKee taking out Lambert, but Lambert still has it. He left it to Bonk. Bonk taking a look good in front, and Hasek deflects it ahead, and Buffalo coming back 2-on-2. In over the line. It's left there to Burridge. Had to chip it in front. That's knocked out. Senators bringing it away, and Burridge takes his man out at center ice. Dackle, a bouncer, and Hasek had to be careful to give it to Schmeling. Schmeling up at center, it comes now. Ward skipping in over the line, back for Pekka, and he failed to get away from Zoltan. Zoltan sending it at center ice, but the Sabres are changing. They had too many men on the ice, and they got caught.
That wasn't even close. The player came off the Buffalo bench, played the puck, and the Sabres will be shorthanded with 38.6 seconds to go here in the second period. That's a mistake. Explanation continues, but Buffalo in the middle of a line change now. Here's the play, and it's Jason Daw who comes out, and just inside the blue line is a Buffalo forward, and that's too many men on the ice.
So, in the dying seconds of the second period, the Senators are going to be granted another power play.
You got to be thinking when you come over the bench like that, you know who you're replacing, and you know the position that man is in on the ice, and you've got to be aware of that. You can't play the puck like that.
Buffalo back there for Duchesne. Duchesne sends it, the time's running out, sends it up to Redden, and he'll tap one in. It'll be clear around to Pekka. Pekka trying to get it out, and finally to Ward. Ward just rips it through the neutral area. Redden getting it back for Duchesne. Shane at center gets spun around, left it to McEachern, and he'll hammer one in. Hasek careful to trap it back there. Shitnik, whoops, that one got away on him and went over the glass with 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Alex Shitnik tried to fire that puck high off the glass and carry it out through the neutral zone, but shot it into the crowd. So very important face-off coming up to the left of Hasek with 4.9 seconds to go. And let's see if the Sabres send out 2 center icemen. Pekka is on the ice, and so is Holzinger. The reason for that, if Pekka happens to be tossed from the face-off circle, the Sabres then will have an experienced guy in Holzinger to also take the draw. And both are right-handed shots, which is a bit of a disadvantage because you're strongest as a centerman pulling the puck back. And Pekka, in this case, must pull the puck back toward the front of the net, towards Dominic Hasek.
He'll do it against Yashin. He kicks it free, and the Sabres clear the zone, and so ends the second period.
I would say, a pretty good period for Buffalo as they had it going a number of times in the Ottawa zone, but penalties halted their momentum on a couple of occasions.
So 2-1, Ottawa leading the ice with the lead here after 2 periods at the Marine Midland Arena. The Senators outshooting the Sabres 20-11.
And dreams of this in every player's head going to bed at night at this time of year.
The Buffalo Sabres battle it out on Empire Sports Network, and Hockey Hotline follows it all. Join host Brian Blessing and Mike Robitaille as they bring you all the scores, highlights, and questions from the fans live on Hockey Hotline tonight.
Comparing a Sierra to anything else in the corral is like comparing a champion thoroughbred to a petting zoo pony. Because right now, you get the room, the comfort, and 230 of the most powerful horses out there. All at a price that's beyond compare. Lease a Sierra for just $299 a month for 36 months, or get 7.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 60 months. See your Empire State GMC dealer today.
Patients are surprised to find that at Erie County Medical Center, they have cardiac surgery of international quality.
Dr. John Bell Thompson, Director of Cardiothoracic Surgery at ECMC.
The commitment we made, the equipment we have, and the team that pulls it all together is what makes us as good as we are.
If you're facing cardiac surgery or have questions about your heart, count on Western New York's heart surgery leader, ECMC.
What you're about to learn may excite you, because the fact is it will help increase performance. I'm talking about Gulf, 93-octane super unleaded gasoline. It's quality you won't find from every major brand. Gulf's Advent 21 formula keeps fuel injectors clean and helps your car run better than ever before. So switch for the life of your car. You know the name. Go Gulf.
If your bank is going through a lot of changes lately, now's the time to change to M&T. We're offering great rates, like our 13-month CD at 6% and a 30-month CD at 6.5%. A free $50 U.S. savings bond when you open your CD, and more ways to make banking more convenient for you. So make a change for the better and change to M&T, all the bank you'll ever need.
Welcome back to the Marine Midland Arena in our second intermission here on the Empire Sports Network of Sabres Hockey. Ottawa leading Buffalo 2-1 after 40 minutes here. Alexei Yashin is our guest. Alexei, are you pretty happy with the way the Senators have come out and played in this game too?
No, it's too early, you know. Just finished the second period, you know, and there's one more period to go. But we're doing a good job, you know, playing very physical and created lots of chances and put some pressure on the goal too. So kind of our style of hockey.
What was the talk after game one, coming into game two, and what you guys needed to do to have a better effort?
You know, it was the first game, and we kind of been nervous because we didn't play in playoffs yet, and it's kind of was very nervous atmosphere before the game. But today it's kind of second game, and we prepare much better, and we're doing a better job.
As one of the leaders on this team, how do you feel finally getting into the playoffs? The Senators went through some tough times there, and you got in this year with a great stretch drive at the end.
I mean, it's a great feeling to be in the playoffs, and just best team playing playoffs. And what can I say? It's I was waiting for this for my 4 more years, and you know, finally we made it, and I hope we will be very successful in the playoffs too.
What turned things around for the Senators during the last couple months of the season?
You know, we played the great hockey in the last couple of months, you know, and the guys been staying close together and try to help each other, and finally we did a good job. We made it the playoffs, and actually we're doing the same in the playoffs right now.
How much fun is it to play against a good friend of yours, Alexei Zhitnik? You played on some national teams in Russia with him, and I know he's a close friend of yours.
Yeah, I know him very well for a long time, you know, and he's a great guy and a great hockey player, a great defenseman, it's no question. So, and he kind of playing against me all the time, so it's kind of a challenge for me to beat him.
You like going after him, though? Maybe give him a couple hits out there?
Yeah, I try if I will have an opportunity, you know, but it's more concentration on the hockey. What can I do for my team?
All right, thank you very much. When we come back, Mike Robitaille and Brian Blessing will have highlights of the other playoff action around the National Hockey League. The score after 2 periods of play here at the Marine Midland Arena. Ottawa leads Buffalo 2-1.
Sometimes the batteries are included. Sometimes you find a space with time on the meter. It's great to get more than you expected, like with a Ford Escort. At such a great price, who'd expect a hot new styling and more powerful engine? But you get it all in an Escort at your local Ford dealers. But since we're talking about more than you expected, for a limited time, get an Escort and get $1,000 cash back. Now that's a pleasant surprise. But hurry, you can't expect this offer to last.
In Western New York. They're really your employees, but they feel a lot like your family. You're fond of many of them and accustomed to the rest of them. And for almost 60 years, GHI has been helping employers like you give their employees the kind of health care they want. Employees get direct access to doctors and hospitals throughout New York State, and you get a reasonable price tag for it all. GHI. We put the care back in healthcare.
You faked with me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think it moved. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Did you just double dip that shit? Yo, ma. I did not pig. There was no pig. So you're still master of your domain? Yes.
It shrank?
He lives in a bubble.
A bubble?
Yes, a bubble. It's about nothing. Right. Giddy up.
Weeknights at 10.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Brinson.
And I'm Howard Simon.
And we're the hosts of Fan TV. Watch what our TV can do.
Don't you want your TV to look like this? Fan TV, weekdays at 4:30 on the Empire Sports Network.
Fan TV, your voice,
your choice. Welcome back. Ottawa leading Buffalo 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Mike Robitaille and Brian Blessing standing by with some playoff highlights. Guys?
Okay, Dennis, thank you very much. Mike, let's talk about it. The Senators came out early. Pitlick throwing his weight around. Duchesne hanging tough. They're going after him, but he's playing well.
Yeah, he's showing an awful lot of moxie, and I'll tell you what, they're pounding the living daylights out of this Duchesne. There's no quit in him. I thought he'd pack it in, but he hasn't. But you know what? Ottawa, in the first game, packed it in the third period. It'll be interesting to see if they have the gumption to keep on going here in the third and win a game.
All right, if the Sabres survive this power play kill to start the third period, they really seem to have the momentum right now.
Oh, let it go. Just keep it going. They're forcing the Ottawa defense right now. Wear them down like the first game.
All right, let's update you on action from around the NHL Eastern Conference playoff action. Montreal and New Jersey. Martin Brodeur scored a goal the other night as the Habs try to rebound and get a split out of Jersey. And early on the power play, Elliott on the power play to McLean, a one-timer, and he snaps it home.
Yeah, isn't that a great play from back at the point? A terrific shot. Thibault, he just can't let goals in like that. He's consistently letting these goals in all season long.
Now, McLean's going to score again on the power play, Mike. Now, in Detroit, they throw an octopus on the ice. Look at the tradition in Jersey. Please tell me what this means. They actually did this. A big head.
Hey, listen, the way the players are carrying their sticks now, I'm surprised it's not a human's head.
Guerin adds another power play goal. Look at the shots on
goal. Are you kidding me?
We didn't just throw that in there. It happened. 3-zip. Devils over the Canadians. Pittsburgh in action at Philly. The Pens down 1-0. Yager to Lemieux. Have we seen this before?
Repetition. Beautiful pass. Look at that. A one-timer. Didn't waste any time. In it goes. It's
Pittsburgh.
Great Mario Lemieux.
That's right. Pittsburgh on top of the Flyers. That score stands at 1-0 as Pittsburgh tries to even this series up. In Philadelphia, the Penguins on top of the Flyers by the score of 1-0. Now let's talk about the NFL draft for the Buffalo Bills today. 2 draft picks for Buffalo. They had no pick in the third round, and their man was there. They pick up Antoine Smith, the running back from Houston, with the 23rd pick overall, the second running back taken in the first round, an All-Conference USA selection in '96. Smith averaged 6.1 yards a carry, gaining more than 1,200 yards. And there's the number 2 pick. Oh, he's something. This guy, out of the Ivy League from Columbia, it is Marcellus Wiley. Athletic skills. The Bills are thrilled to have Wiley on their roster. This is a young man that had first-round potential, and the Bills, again, go to a smaller school. They did indeed get their man. And the question is, will the Sabres get their men trying to get over the Senators down 2-1? Going to the third. We'll see you after the game on the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Enjoy the third.
This is my bacon double cheeseburger.
This is a classic.
Roll up your sleeves. Don't mess with me when I'm eating kind of burger.
Right now it's only 99 cents.
But not for long.
This is a very good sign.
Since we opened our doors, McDonald's has been giving you great food at a great price. And the way we see it,
things are only looking better.
This is a heaping helping of a big beefy burger with bacon for 99 cents.
Can you believe it? That's impossible.
99 cents.
Ça, c'est mon McDonald's.
Your what?
This is my McDonald's.
Come on, show me your new smile. Oh, I see. We're all grown up now. Pretty soon, it'll be boyfriends, tuition, a wedding. No, sorry, just kidding. I suppose pretty soon you'll be needing a car.
Really?
Really? That's a smile.
Dad.
Oh, that was a smile. I think we can take a check. Check, please.
For a lot of different people to have the same dream. Yes, Automobile Magazine's Automobile of the Year. Toyota's RAV4, Dream of the Year. For a lot of different people.
Ottawa had a 2-0 lead in the second period, but the Sabres came back to have that margin as we get ready for the third. Buffalo did indeed come roaring back in the hockey game.
Yeah, they sure did. Looked pretty bleak, actually, after Duchesne scored a power play goal to make it 2-0 for Ottawa, and we'll pick it up there on the replay. Duchesne just continues to play excellent hockey for Ottawa, but what happens on this? The Senators work the puck over to the one side of the ice, and Duchesne takes the first shot on goal, and after that, watch what happens. Everybody heads to the front to Dominic Hasek. Here's the play developing. It's going to come, if we can just keep it rolling, guys, it's going to end up on Duchesne's stick, and then watch as Duchesne takes the shot, and if we can stop it right there. See this jam up of players here, and this puck is going to get away from Dominic Hasek out into this area, and Duchesne is going to move in toward it. But Dominic, because of the traffic, could not corral the loose puck, and Duchesne taps it between his legs, and that made it 2-0. But Buffalo, as Rick mentioned, roared right back. And this is a beautiful passing play. Randy Burridge will give it across to Brian Holzinger. Watch the pass across. It is not defensed very well by Ottawa. It's into the empty net, and that was a big goal for Randy Burridge.
Steve Duchesne, our Discover Card scoring play, makes it #1 of the playoffs for him. And then Randy Burridge comes back with his second in as many games to put Buffalo right back in the game as we get set for the third period here at the Marine Midland Arena. That's coming up next.
Something fragile belongs in the safest possible container. That's especially true with your children, which could be why, with safety features like four-wheel anti-lock brakes, side door intrusion beams, and more, Ford Windstar is the #1 selling minivan in Western New York. And now, with $1,000 cash back with a purchase or red carpet lease of a Windstar, it's more affordable to put yourself and a half dozen others in a safe place. Put your family in a Windstar at your local Ford dealer today.
Pizza Hut memo number 24. Kids, well, you dared folks to take the best pizza value challenge, and they did. Boy, are they taking it. You dared them to find a better pizza value for $9.99 than our large one-top pizzeria stuffed crust with the specially blended sauce and the ring of cheese baked right on the edge. No contest. And you dared the kids, too. Big mistake. Never dare a kid when it comes to pizza.
That kid just ate 6 slices of pizza.
Pizzeria stuffed crust pizza for $9.99. The real challenge is going to be you making them fast enough.
Now, just be yourself. Mom and Dad are gonna love you. Hi, honey. Mom, hi, Dad. Hey!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Welcome to the family, Bobo. Make it a Bud Light. So what line of work are you in?
Let's see how much you know about gasoline. Ready? In 1921, who opened the world's first drive-in service station? Your dad used it. His dad used it. Today, go. Advent 21 formula keeps fuel injectors clean and helps my car run better than ever before. Whether it's full service or self-serve. For the life of your car, you know the name. Go, go.
If you're having debt problems, we can help. We're Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Buffalo.
I felt my whole world was crashing down. You were very understanding and worked out a payment program with my creditors. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have gone bankrupt.
Our counseling is free and confidential. We're here to help. Call 854-1710.
Sabres playoff hockey is brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Discover, it pays to discover. And by Tops Friendly Markets. Tops never stops saving you more. Ottawa Senators leading in this game 2-1. This is an amazing stat.
Isn't that right? Buffalo's last 19 playoff series, the team winning game 2 went on to win the series. Wow.
And before we get going in the period, let's go down to Dennis.
Guys, I just talked to assistant coach Paul Terrio, who said the key to this period is to start off killing off this penalty. It's absolutely huge. He made no bones about how big that was. He also said they just have to continue to persevere, and they had Ottawa back on their heels, so they have to keep banging them and keep them back on their heels. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, a minute and 20 seconds to go, and that bench penalty to Buffalo being served by Donald Haddad as Lokinen will sail one in off the glass. Hasek knocks it down behind the net. Here's Galley trying to squeeze it around. Shannon poked it, didn't get it out. Yashin the shot. Rebound. Score! On the rebound, it gets over top of Hasek. And the Ottawa Senators, 18 seconds into the third period, get a second power play goal and get their 2-goal lead back again.
Tom Jaworski was saying this morning that they felt Dominik Hasek gave up rebounds, and they've scored 3 rebound goals tonight. This is another one, as Yashin takes the shot, and Hasek cannot control it. Alfredson pokes it home, his second of the playoffs. And what Paul Theriault didn't want to happen has happened.
And a lot of folks weren't even back in their seats from the intermission.
My boy, the Senators, give them credit. They changed their game tonight. They wanted to get the puck to the net. They wanted to go to the net. They've done it, and they've scored 3 times because of it.
Galley working it. McKee up to Shan, hit the linesman. He chipped it in, but Pitlick takes it back. Guns it to center ice. Galley will knock it down there. Slip back in the other direction. Grosek running into Alfredson. And loses his helmet. Galley sliding it around to McKee for Shatan. Shatan all the way around to the other side. Grosek lets it go at center. Pitlick comes in with it. Fired back through the middle. Taken away by Alfredson. He dumps it ahead and over the line to Cutworth. Recovered by Blushing. White standing away with a pass up on the wing to Shatan. Senators send it off the boards, back through center ice. Jolton, long shot. That sails off the glass, and the Senators hustle in there. York keeping it in. That'll deflect around behind the net. Shorsky will come up with the puck. McKee knocked it free to Shatan, and a touch pass to Audette, to Holzinger. Holzinger in over the line. He leaves it there to Shatan. Shatan sending it down low, but too far for Grosek. It's all the way around to York on the other side. York will scoop it to center, and the Senators trying to make a change here. Flipped in over the line to Audette, could not get away. And back to center ice. Shannon to Wilson. He'll squeeze it ahead for Burridge. Burridge sailing one off into the front. There, got it around behind the net. Audette gets flattened, but he leaves it to Burridge. Burridge going to swing away from a check. Bumping in the corner, still fighting for it. Now Polk gets in there as well. And they're going to pin it long enough to force a face-off.
Ottawa taking the lead on Alfredson's goal, second of the series from Yashin. Duchesne continues his excellent play. I want to show you, this is Wade Redden, and we talk about defensemen standing up in the neutral zone as Alfredson enjoys his goal. Watch Buffalo on the attack. And watch what happens. So Wayne Redden, number 6. You can stop it right here. See this? See how close he is to the forward? Makes it very uncomfortable. Standing up in the neutral zone. And the Sabres just cannot get anything going. They cannot get the puck deep. And Craig Ramsey told him about Wade Redden. He says he's just a 19-year-old kid, but he's not afraid to put him on the ice in any situation.
Shot just goes wild. The Sabres have the bangers out there again. But it's Monk who will send it to center ice. Carrying on, Buchanan. He'll flip one in. May stepped into him. Around behind the net. Shannon tries it free to May. May stepping to center, whipped it through the middle to Primo. Primo bouncing off of Pitlick, who goes down. Logan in the corner. Primo stepped in front of him. Slides in behind the goal again. May trying to knock it free. Leaves it to Primo and May. For Schmelik, his shot hit a leg, and Lambert charges after it. Here's Lambert trying to cut in, feeds it in front, and puts it in the corner. Lambert up again. Lambert back behind the Buffalo net, looking for some help. He got it out in front, but it went all the way to Ray. Ray working his way to center. Waiting for his teammates to make changes, and it's taken away now by Burridge and over the line to Holzinger. Big shot and fired it wide. All the way around to the boards. Put down by Schmelik. Schmelik bothered from behind. Finally clipped it in over the line. It's kicked in now to Holzinger. Holzinger trying to get it in front. Goes after it again. Redden took it away. Burridge charges in there. He's grabbed. Sent around to the boards and cleared into Buffalo territory. Schmelik hustling back after it. Schuster helping with his check, and this will be icing coming up against Ottawa. The Senators, 2 power play goals and a 2-goal lead.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement. I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf balls around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Babidochromis, Caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
See, what else do I have on this?
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
in its entirety. The Volkswagen sales pitch.
You want to take it for a spin?
During our national test drive event, you can lease a Jetta GL for just $169 a month on a 2-year no-hassle lease, which means for the next 2 years, all you have to do is put in the gas. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Drop the puck again in Ottawa territory between Yakin and Pekka, who wins the draw to Schmelik. His shot does not get through. Dawn shipping it to the corner. Pekka is sent it around. It's cleared all the way around the board. Shipnik moving up to keep it in there. Here's Dawn hacking at it again. Shipnik pounded it, but it ended up going to center ice onto Dawn's stick. Back for Schmelik. Schmelik turning again. Pecker keeping an eye on him. It's whipped right back through the middle to Daw. Daw sliding it in over the line. Pekka in the corner, mixing it up with Picklick. Well, Picklick came in and threw a puncher. Pekka, and he's gone.
It was Picklick who decked Pekka back in the first period. And Pekka, of course, keeps coming back at Picklick at every opportunity and draws the Ottawa defenseman into taking a very foolish penalty. And this is a playoff game when you must stay in control of yourself. Now, Pekka went after him here, but watch Picklick. As he's upset now, and he slashes and then punches Pekka. 2 minutes for roughing. Picklick signed as a free agent out of the University of Minnesota. He spent most of his professional career in Hershey and Prince Edward Island. So now, this is a must situation. Ottawa not giving up many scoring chances. Sabres must cash in this special team power play.
Left there for Chatan. He gets it back to Galley. Over to Shannon. That's knocked down. Shannon will get it back again. Shannon took his shot. That went off the leg. Galley moves up to keep it in there. Swinging it to Chatan. Scooping it around Adam. Platt takes it back for Chatan. Around behind the net to Grosek. Grosek to Galley. Over to Shannon. Took his shot. Comes to Platt. Fires it over the shoulder. As Grosek let it go. And Van Allen uses the glass, or tried to use the glass to fire it out, and instead it went right out of play.
Michael Grosek was in the perfect spot. Derek Platt sent the pass across, but sometimes the problem is you have to pass the puck hard, and that pass was too hard. Here it is here. He just whips it across, and Michael Grosek just doesn't time it properly and shoots it off the side of the net.
Now they're looking at the remnants of a stick that's on the ice, and they're trying to make sure they get all the pieces up.
That looked like an aluminum stick too. There's the shrapnel is laying on the ice. The referee, the linesman, is gathering, and that could do some damage if the skate blade would step on a piece of that.
Could recycle that, baby.
You seldom see an aluminum stick break like that. That just broke right in two. Now the face-off back in the Ottawa zone. And the Sabres still with Plant, Grosek, and Chatan. This gives the Buffalo power play unit a chance to gather themselves. I think if the face-off would have been conducted immediately, Ted Nolan would have made a change.
Well, they made one change. He's got Schmelik out now, and Shannon gets a rest. And Galley stays out there on the other point. Back it comes to Galley. Galley flings it into the corner. It's chipped around behind the net. Bounced around on the boards again. Grosek clearing it back. Schmelik shot. That hit a leg, and it ends up at center ice. Galley takes it away. Slides it for Chatan. Chatan working it into Grosek again. Took a hit, but Schmelik keeping it in there. Over around behind the net. Cleared back. Schmelik keeping it in again. Scoops it back into the corner. Gunned around on the boards again. Chatan had it in his skates. Fire it out to center ice, and racing after it, Alfredson. Alfredson back and goes wide. Right around to the boards. Sabres bring it back. Schmelik leading the rush away to Shatan. In over the line, leaves it down to Plant. Plant twisting and turning in the corner. Grosek took a bump, but he got it around to Shatan. Shatan dropping it off again. Kept in by Buffalo's Grosek. Grosek dealing it back to the point. Then back in beside the net again. Then right in front. In the corner, Schmelik has moved way up on the play. Schmelik keeping it in there. Sends it to Galley. Galley will dribble one in to Grosek. Grosek twisting away. Got it in front. Shatan, his shot. Knocked down. Miller whack at it. And it's finally Van Allen who sends it down the ice. Here comes Hasek. He wants to play it ahead, but his teammates are changing. Buffalo trying a last gasp rush here with a pass to Holzinger. Cuts back through the middle. Holzinger to the Ottawa line. Got it into Burridge. Sabres back to full strength. Kicked into the corner. Holzinger racing after it again. Trying to keep it in there and does. Kick behind the net. Plant leaving it. Burridge trying to cut in front. They chop it away at it again. It comes back to the point to Shannon. Shannon for Holzinger. Holzinger on the shoot. The shot just missed. Around to the board. Shannon kept it in there. He got nailed by Cunningham. Sent to the other side. And then Shipnick came screaming across to get a piece of Pitlick. Senators are changing. Fed up ahead. Shipnick sending it through center ice. Recovered by Audette. Audette tried to slide it to Holzinger. That didn't work out, and Buffalo completing a change. Knocked down with Shannon. Shannon's pass misses everybody. Back it goes to York. Almost 7 minutes into the third period. Good back into the corner and taken away now by Galley. He got it around, and Pekka deflects it to center ice. Rudden for York. York banking it off the boards, and it's going to be Shannon recovering again, but Shannon does not have a stick, and he kicks it all the way around to Daw. Daw flipping it to center ice, goes after it again. Here's Jason Daw going wide on Lokinen, fighting his way around him, gets spun around, still has the puck. Daw turning in the corner, leaves it to Ward. Ward cruising around. He tried to dump it back in, but it came out over the line. And they'll jam there right at the Ottawa line, and the Senators recover the puck. Well, slipped out to center ice. Picked off by Galley, and he flipped it ahead, but it goes too far, and that's going to result in an icing against Buffalo. Almost 8 minutes into the third period.
Cozy, huh? Whoa, bedroom? No way. Security?
How's the transportation?
Classic fixtures. Ooh, what do we have here? Bud Light. Go ahead. Got your name on it. I'll get my own. Nice. Huh?
I'll take it. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I was down to my last one.
Something fragile belongs in the safest possible container. That's especially true with your children, which could be why, with safety features like four-wheel anti-lock brakes, side door intrusion beams, and more, Ford Windstar is the #1 selling minivan in Western New York. And now, with $1,000 cash back with a purchase or red carpet lease of a Windstar, it's more affordable to put yourself and a half dozen others in a safe place. Put your family in a Windstar at your local Ford dealer today.
Ready for the face-off now, back in the Buffalo end of the rink. 12 minutes, 19 seconds remaining here in the third period.
Now Dominic Hasek with, we look around the National Hockey League, the Devils shutting down Montreal.
And for the Devils come back to tie Pittsburgh. Very immediate. Penguins goal. Pekka slipping it up to center ice, but Duchesne is careful when he gets it back to McEachern. He'll wheel one into the corner. Get it all the way around on the boards. Didn't. Pekka knocks it free, kicks at it again, and wheels it out to center ice and carries on. Pekka in over the line, got checked at the last second. Covered, Schmelik to Shipnick. Kicks it ahead again. Pekka having difficulty getting away, finally can't, and it's tapped back into the corner. And now there's going to be a penalty coming up here to Hasek for interference.
Now he picked off Alexei Yashin as Yashin pursued the puck into the zone. But the problem was Shipnick had already control of it and was speeding up the ice. Here's the play as Hasek gets a stick up on Yashin, and that's a bad penalty. Dominic Hasek has not had a good night tonight. Or I should say, Shipnick in total control of the situation. He was beating Yashin back with the puck, and Dominic Hasek did not have to interfere with Yashin. And the Senators have controlled the special teams tonight. They're leading because they've scored 2 power play goals, and now they'll try again.
Ted Nolan tried to send Grosek over to serve the penalty, and I think the linesman is saying, nope, it's got to be somebody on the ice, or who was on the ice at the time.
Now the linesman is telling Ted Nolan who is out there. He said, okay, now who are you going to send?
I say, you want me to pick him? It's going to be Daw. Well, or is it? There's Daw just going for a skate. Oh, yep, that's who it is.
And now Buffalo in a situation where you've got to go for a shorthanded goal. And they begin with Plant and Burridge, so look for the Sabres to really run their defense up front, either Wilson or Shannon in this situation, or Galley, I beg your pardon.
One high shot, knocked down in front, rebound went wide. Back in the corner and sent back to Redden. Redden will give it now to Daig. Daig slipping it into the corner. Zoltok with a shot. Hasek the save, came in front. York's shot didn't get through. Another whack at it, went wide. Tipped in by Daig again to Redden. Redden to York to Redden. Wade Redden to Daig. Daig trying to flip it to the corner. Shannon picks it off. Oh, and Pennyworth going at it in front of the net. Along with Galley. Wow. They're ready to cut each other's heads off, and they just let them go. Pennyworth now swinging it back in over the Buffalo line. Hasek checked it way out. Shipnick feeds it to center ice. That's knocked down, and just failing to get away was Ward. He's brought back in again by Alfredson for Duchesne. That one goes wide around to Yashin. Yashin keeping it in there. A minute left in the Senators' power play. Fed to the corner. Shipnick can't get it out. Yashin keeping it in. Yashin holding the puck again. Trying to set it up in front. Back to Yashin. Quick shot. Hasek the save, and it's scooped up ahead and knocked out to center ice. Lokinen got it back. Taken away, however, by Pekka. Pekka in over the line. Takes his shot, trying to go wide. In the corner. Lokinen stepping. Came in front! And Tugnutt makes the save on Ward. Now cleared to center ice. Senators coming right back again to McEachern. McEachern scoops around behind the net. Hanging on to the puck, dealing it back for Redden to McEachern again. He took a shot, tried to save it, a dribble just wide, the screen shot. Burridge failed to get it out. He was after it again, but it's kept in, and now finally Burridge banks it off the linesman at center ice, trying to go after it. He's been taken down. There's no penalty called there, and that's got the faithful here in the Marine Midland Arena upset, to say nothing of the Buffalo bench. Clear but not out. Kept in there by the Senators again. Away, and Burridge has got it again, and he feeds it through the middle, and now there's been another penalty called. And who's going here for penalties? Penalties.
Now Daryl Shannon for Buffalo, and Chorsky for Ottawa. And Jacques Martin, proud of his club tonight, the way they have answered Game 1. And Ted Nolan, I'm sure, is very disappointed up to this point. 9:30 to go, 3-1 Ottawa. And the Sabres have not played their game here tonight. They have been undisciplined, and it has cost them. And they certainly haven't played as desperate or as hungry as the Senators have tonight.
No, it's almost like the team's changed sweaters.
Boy, isn't that the
since
truth?
Thursday.
That's exactly right, and it's the same score right now as it was in Game 1. Buffalo winning 3-1, where tonight it's Ottawa up 3-1.
Another penalty expired, so now each team is a man short here. 9.5 to go on the clock in the third. Redden will keep it in and take another screen shot that goes wide. Audette tried to catch up with it, could not. York recovering for the Senators to Redden. Skip it to Dackel. Dackel pulling away with a pass ahead to Gardner. Gardner left on stride by Galley. Audette takes down his man, Dackel. Galley trying at free. And a bust out of there and fires it across ice. Went behind Holzinger. Tipped ahead now. McKee getting it in over the line to Holzinger, and he loses control. Back goes Dackel in the other direction. He'll just ease it in and head off for a change. Buffalo also trying to change here. He's flinging it up on the boards, but it went all the way to center ice, and Cunningworth drills one across to Lokinen. Lokinen in over the line, spun around by McKee. Flipped in front, Heshik knocks it down and banks it for Shatan. Van Allen keeping it in, his long shot, back in the corner again. Pulled back to the point, Lokinen fired that one, to Shitnik. Shitnik can't get it out, however. Cunningworth jams it back into the corner, and Heshik comes out to kick it around on the boards. Cunningworth scooping it in the other direction. Sabres finally catching up with the puck, and Holzinger starts to center. Holzinger to the Ottawa line, in over the line, offside Buffalo. 8:08 remaining here in the third. A 2-goal Senator lead.
I whack the weeds. So you want to know what's on my Discover Card statement. I'm a camp cook, and a bad one, but I've got a good stove. He loves to chase that. The cashback bonus award.
It all folds up into a carry.
She loves to get flowers, and I love to give them.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Well, the toughest thing about buying a wetsuit is trying them on.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
The all-new Dodge Dakota is full of surprises. From more room and comfort to more cargo space to a bold new look. And now our latest surprise. You can choose a Dakota V6 and save $500. Announcing the National Dodge Sale. It's never been easier to get into Magnum Power. Now with $500 savings. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Ottawa in control here at Marine Midland Arena. Not much offense for Buffalo. A total of 12 shots in the game and only one here in the third. The lowest total the Sabres have ever recorded in the playoff period was 3. They've done that a number of times.
Shitnik will help it ahead, but it's picked off and brought in over the line. Yashin, but that's way offside. Exactly 8 minutes left on the clock here in the third.
Great determination tonight by Ottawa. With 8 minutes to play, they deserve to be up 3-1. They have been the better hockey club. The intensity has been greater than Buffalo. The desperation has been greater than the Sabres have exhibited up to this point.
Shitnik tried to find some skating room, couldn't get anything going through the middle, so he retreats with Schmelik, who takes the pass. Gunned across ice now to center. Brought in over the Ottawa line. Shatan busting around the outside. He couldn't get it in front. He's got it again. Shatan rolling it back, and that one just jumped over Schmelik's stick and went to center ice. Feed it back in the other direction. Plant scooping it free. Plant finding Richard Schmelik. Schmelik into Ottawa territory, stopping, took a shot, he hit Shatan. Worked around to the board, Plant after it again, dumped it off in the corner. Here's Ward hustling in there. Ward in front, trying to stuff it in, and Tugnut grabs a hold of that one.
Boy, what a quick, clever play by Dixon Ward as Shatan wobbles to the Buffalo bench. But Ward, with a quick move around behind the net, and tried to bank it in on the goaltender. Couldn't do it. Shatan blocked a shot. And here's the opportunity by Ward. Watch how quickly he gets around behind the net. Now, Tugnut knows he's coming and just slips across the goal crease to make the save. And Shatan gets hit with this shot by Schmelik in the back of the ankle. And one thing the Sabres have just been awful at tonight is getting the puck from the point to the front of the net. If it doesn't hit one of their players, the Senators have been blocking them, and that's bad.
They got it back to Galley. He took a shot. Tugnut kicked it away. Wilson moving up on the play. He gets knocked down by Retton. And it's fed to center ice. Galley taking it back for Ward. Ward in over the Ottawa line to Daw. Ripped the shot right on. And Tugnut's got that one trapped between his pads, but he had all kinds of room to see it coming.
I was talking to Ron Tugnut this morning. He was saying that when he goes into a hockey game, he doesn't think about the guy at the other end of the rink. And tonight, Dominic Hasek, he says, we all know what Dominic can do and what he has accomplished this season. And he says, I just try to think about and play my game and not worry about what's happening or what the other goaltender is doing. And he was talking about how important it was for Ottawa to play their game tonight. Oh, boy, they've done it. They've held Buffalo to 15 shots on goal. Very few scoring chances, and that has been the trademark of the Senators in the stretch going down the end of the season.
Work back to Daw on the other side, but it'll be knocked down, and Alfredson away to center ice. He flips it in. Spun around, Hashing is way out of the net. Made it around on the boards. They're picking up again. Ward checked in the corner. Alley tried to help out and went right to Cunningworth. He cleared it in front, and Hashing sweeps it away to Daw. Daw tried to slip it ahead. That's broken up and knocked right back in by Ottawa again. Alley took a bump there from Cunningworth. Covered with Wilson. Wilson, he hit the referee. Now up for Daw. Daw striding to center, flips it in over the line. Taken back by the Senators and just tipped right out again. They don't really care how pretty they make it right now. They're just trying to take time off the clock. Dead ahead, Bolzinger turning around, and Shannon will have to chase back after it. That's rolled behind the net. Key back there. Throws it up on the wing, banked out to center. Bolzinger racing after the puck into Ottawa territory. He's cut off. Ends up swept around to the glass again, off Lambert, off Shannon, and down the ice. Key being chased by Hawk. Gives it to Shannon. They head now to Audette. Audette will crank one in over the line. It's deflected behind Burridge. He goes after it in the corner. Recovered by Gardner. And Gardner high in the air inside the Buffalo blue line. He's back another change. Back is Shipnick. Shipnick starting out. Coming to center. Over on the wing it comes. Burridge with a shot. Tugged up the save. Cleared off the boards. And Ottawa to bring it away to center ice again. Eshin tapping one in as May tried to track him down and sent around on the board. Whip back into the corner. Islanders keeping it in with Gardner behind the net. Gardner drops it off to Yashin. Got him beat it in front. Back it goes to Gardner. Gardner had it knocked off his stick, but moving up the field, he can keep it in there. They gave it away to May. May attempting to get away on the wing. Got as far as center ice. Spins again. Being bumped by McKickern. May along the wall right in front of the Ottawa bench. We're going to get a face-off coming up.
So, where do you want this?
Hey now, I ordered a new copier.
This is better than new, my friend. Allow me to demonstrate. Oh, what do we have here? Wow. Enlarges, too. Even so late. I'll take it.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I didn't think I could shove this baby through.
You are witnessing, in its entirety, the Volkswagen sales pitch.
You want to take it for a spin?
During our national test drive event, you can lease a Jetta GL for just $169 a month on a 2-year no-hassle lease, which means for the next 2 years, all you have to do is put in the gas. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Time for the Dunlop Tires Handle It play of the game.
And it's a dandy. Randy Burridge to Holzinger. And Holzinger makes the perfect pass. And Burridge slips it in.
Next time you need tires with a difference, handle it with Dunlop Tires. Buffalo needs a goal now. In over the line. Flat. Krusek backhand. Takes up the save. Well, they jam at it again, but Tucknut's got the puck underneath them.
Now Buffalo generating a scoring chance off a face-off in the neutral zone. And Brad May figured prominently, and Grosek could not score. But an excellent play by Buffalo. Here it is. Watch the Sabres just storm into the zone as the turnover occurs at the line. And Grosek cannot beat the goaltender, and neither can Brad May, who actually had a chance at that loose puck. But Buffalo needs more of this, or needed more of this evening, and they didn't get it.
Sabres making another change with 4.5 left on the clock in regulation. Second time in the game, Buffalo's been down by 2. Again. Got away from one. Tried to clear it out in front. It hit a skate. He goes after it again. Bumped by Lokinen. Jammed it to the other side. And it's picked up now. And Van Allen wheeling it across ice. Sent in. And Hashik coming up to play it. Galley scoots it up in the wing. Tapped out to center. Picked up by Holzinger. Holzinger works in over the line. Trying to bust around the outside. Bumped it back to the point. Kept in with Galley. Galley swings it into the corner. He took a hit from Honeyworth. Jammed it around behind the net. Fighting for it again. But it goes to Alfredson. Burridge keeping it in. And Alfredson took it right back again. Alfredson sending it for Honeyworth. Honeyworth just tapping one in. And heading off for a change. Stolen by Zoltak in the corner. Zoltak took a shot as he knocks that away. Daw swinging it behind the net, but Chorsky picks it up. Good loaded spot. Taken away with Ward. Ward up at center to Pekka. Pekka in over the line. Jams it off into the corner. Dolphins flying in there. And it's cranked off the glass and sent to center ice. Schmelik got it ahead. In over the line again with Daw. And it's knocked away from him. A nice play by Buchanan. Right around on the board. Shipney keeping it in. Shipney trying to pull free to Ward. Ward got it in front, but it's recovered by the Senators and whipped out to center to Chorsky. Chorsky to the Buffalo line. Trying to get around. Shipney takes him down. That's ahead at center ice, and May came over the boards, then scrambles back off. Now scrambles back on. Monk just easing it ahead, and time is running out on Buffalo here in the third period. Long pass through the middle. That did not connect. It goes wide of the net. Bushik made an effort to get there, but couldn't. It's icing. Check out the Sabres homepage at www.sabres.com to find out the most updated information concerning playoffs, season tickets, player profiles, Marine Midland Arena events, and team stats. www.sabres.com.
Now this is an opportunity for Ted Nolan's Hockey Club to work a breakout play off a face-off and try to catch Ottawa napping. And you got Brad May, who's lined up on the right wing side, and see if something develops if Plant can win it.
In the corner, McKee tried to get away, got it to Plant. Plant slipping it out at center ice, but Lokinen got in front of May, and they took a shove at each other. McKee slipping it over for Galley. Galley will tip it now to Plant. Plant bringing it in over the line, runs over top of Lokinen. May charging in there. Here's Plant trying it free. Came in front with a shot and couldn't at the save. May trying to go to the net, and he is pinned there by Lambert.
Did he ever go to the net? Brad May just made a beeline toward Ron Tugnut, who made a nice save on a quick shot by Derek Plant. And there was no loose puck, and there was no rebound. Here's another good play by May in the corner. And Plant fires this shot. Now watch May as he went right to the front. Listen. Come on, Bob. Now 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go. Ottawa very close to tying up this series at 1 game apiece. The Sabres' inability to really generate consistent offense tonight has really hurt them. The Senators have taken advantage of power plays. That's been the difference in this game, the special teams. The Sabres' power play, which has sputtered all season long, so far has not been able to help them here tonight.
Well, Buffalo is going to talk this one over. The Sabres have called a timeout.
And Dominic Hasek is on the bench. The net will remain empty, and a face-off in the Ottawa zone.
Time for us to tell you, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia are tied at 2 in the third period, and New Jersey has a 4-1 lead over Montreal. Brian Savage has scored for the Canadiens. So it's going to be on to Ottawa, the Corel Center, for the next 2 games, Monday and Wednesday nights. And then it'll return to this Marine Midland Arena next Friday night. Game number 5. Now
Dominik Hasek had problems tonight with rebounds. I mentioned earlier, Tom Chorsky told me this morning they thought they could get some rebound goals on Hasek, and boy, they've gotten 3 of them tonight. But part of the reason for that is because they have gotten traffic in front. And Dominik oftentimes makes the save and then clears the rebound away. And tonight he's not been able to do that, and tonight he hasn't gotten any help from his friend.
Miroslav Shatan on the Buffalo bench does not look in the best of shape. I think that shot that he took off his ankle is really bothering him.
That's one of the reasons why he's not on the ice, because in this situation you put your goal scorers on the ice, and he is a great goal scorer.
So the Sabres are going to let it all hang out now. 2:06 left in the third. The net is empty. Knocked down by Daw. He got it back. Galley fired one, but it's blocked and sent all the way into Buffalo territory. Knocked off to the corner. Galley scooping it up. Holting behind the net. Now he lost it. He got it front. He steered it ahead to Plant out to center ice. Again, smoking one end. Off the glass. Rebound. Holzinger tipped it away. Head behind the goal again. Again. Got it back. Around it comes to Holzinger. Back to the point. Galley winds up. Screen shot. Knocked down. And the Senators clear the zone. Galley recovering again at his own line. Being challenged by Yashin. Putting it up on the wing. May try to charge after it. Can't do it. Taken away. Yashin fired it wide of the open net. Galley tips it to the blue line and out. Yashin getting it back again. Yashin now off the goal post. He drove that one in and hit the pipe. Now it's cleared to center ice. Ottawa, another long shot. Knocked down at center. Here's Audette busting in the shot. He fired it wide. Later out of the boards. Audette trying to keep it in. They poke it back into the corner again. Jamming on the wall. Sent behind the net. Audette trying to poke it in the short side. He got hammered. Tubnut covers up.
Well, Donald gets in one last punch on Picklick after Picklick worked him over to the right of the net. Well, that was furious action. First of all, an empty net at the Buffalo zone, and Audette with some quality scoring chances in the Ottawa end of the ring. Here's a wraparound attempt by Audette, and Picklick will work him over a couple of times. So another face-off coming up with 49.6. This is Yashin who brings it off the goalpost. And then they had an opportunity just after that, the Senators, to just clear the puck softly into the Buffalo zone. They tried to score another goal. It was blocked, and it ended up in the ring.
Keeping it in now. Flips it around the net. Groshek got it out in front, but it's stolen away and sent down the ice. This is nowhere near the net. It'll result in an icing call by down to 36.5 seconds remaining.
Well, Michael Groshek did this the other night as he moved the puck to the front of the net without looking. And it was picked off by Ottawa, and the Senators, when they ended up with possession of the puck, made a horrible mistake. Instead of just easing it down the ice, here's the play by Groshek, as he just throws it out blind, and Cunneyworth, who should know better, ends up icing the puck. All he has to do, Cunneyworth, is gain control of it and just toss it out to the neutral zone, not the length of the lane.
Just use the boards.
Yes. And you don't want another faceoff back in your zone, and that's what you have.
Flat taking it for Buffalo. And winning it to Holzinger. Holzinger cleared it in front. Pekka whack at it. That's knocked down. Pekka cleared it back in again. It's kicked free. Kicked into Pekka again. And finally drilled off the glass and back through the middle. Shipnick charging back after it. Watched by Alfredson. Got it off the boards to center ice. Sabres trying to get away again. Taken by Holzinger. He gets checked by Van Allen. Shipnick. Bring it out himself as he comes to center. Tips it over on the wing. Plant in over the line. Trying to feed it in front. Into the blue line. Holzinger winds up. Takes his shot. Rebound as the horn goes. And the Ottawa Senators have evened this series at 1.
And they deserved the victory here tonight. They were the better hockey club than the Buffalo Sabres. They played with more desperation and more intensity. And they fully deserve to win it by 3-1 here at the Marine Midland Arena and even this
this series at 1 apiece.
These two teams playing tit for tat. Buffalo winning the first game 2 nights ago, 3-1. The Senators turn the tables here tonight.
It's difficult to improve on works of nature, but somehow we managed. Introducing the new Jeep Cherokee. With over 40 advancements, it's not just different, it's better. Now lease the new Jeep Cherokee for just $239 a month. Check one out at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Brinson.
And I'm Howard Simon.
And we're the hosts of Fan TV. Watch what our TV can do.
Don't you want your TV to look like this? Fan TV, weekdays at 4:30 on the Empire Sports Network.
Fan TV, your voice, your choice.
Larry Quinn on Sabres season tickets.
Hi, Buffalo Sabres fans. Larry Quinn, president of the Sabres. For the first time in as many years as I can remember, we're lowering our prices in the lower bowl. We're going from 40 to 30 in the end zones, 59 to 50 in the center seats. We're also offering Harbor Club memberships to anybody with a season ticket. Enjoy the wonderful dining overlooking the Buffalo waterfront. This year, we're also offering a special benefit, the sneak peek. If you're a Sabres season ticket holder, you can buy tickets to individual games at your season ticket price a week before the general public, before they go on sale in the fall, or throughout the season. And finally, and last but not least, if you renew or buy by April 25th, you get a 5% rebate on the value of your season ticket in the form of Sabre Bucks. Sabre Bucks buy you anything in this building, from beverage to food to new tickets, and even a new jersey in the team store. So remember, come on out next season and enjoy wonderful action here in the Marine Midland Arena. It's not too early to get your seat.
Welcome back to Sabres Hockey on the Empire Sports Network. It's the postgame. The Senators got a goal in that third period from Daniel Alfredson to ice this game. They beat the Sabres 3-1. Well, now this series is tied at 1. Ottawa achieving their goal. They wanted just to get one win here in Buffalo. Now they head back with home ice advantage, and it's sort of a best out of 5 series. Let's take a look at our Cigna stats from this hockey game. Here they are for the hockey game. 29 shots for Ottawa, 24 for Buffalo. Ottawa outscores Buffalo 3-1. Face-offs, that edge goes to the Buffalo Sabres. Scoring chances, that edge goes to the Ottawa Senators. Joining us right now is Ron Tugnut, the goaltender, the winning goaltender tonight. And Ron, first of all, you got to be pretty happy to come out of Buffalo with a split.
Yeah, you know, I think that we were a little tentative the first game, and you know, they came with a lot of emotion, and they were really pumped up and ready to go. And it was pretty tough to get anything going against them the first game, but we came in with a better game plan in game 2, and we actually played with a little more determination and like our backs were up against the wall a little bit.
What else did that game plan include?
Well, it's just, you know, we didn't play, you know, our game at all. We found that we were sitting back and letting them take in the game to us, and at times tonight they did the same. They're a very physical team, and you know, we had to counteract that with some physical play of our own, and at times we did that.
The Sabres only had 11 shots in the first 2 periods, 13 in the third period, so you were on your toes in that third period.
Well, you know, they've been coming hard at the net the whole series so far. I've been talking to the ref basically all through both games, and you know, it's playoff hockey. It's real physical in there, and you know, you got to take the bumps and bruises, I guess.
What a difference a year makes for Ron Tugnut. A year ago, you were playing some of these guys. They were playing in Rochester. You were in Portland in the AHL. It's been a big change for you over the last year.
I wish a couple of these guys were up here last year rather than playing in Rochester. But you know, obviously they're a big part of this team now too. They've stepped up, and I think the Calder Cup final really did both wonders for me and probably for a few of them. And it goes to show you the minor leagues is still good hockey.
What else has been the difference for you down the stretch? Because you were really one of the leaders in helping Ottawa make this run into the playoffs.
Well, I think that when you play so often, you can find yourself getting in a little bit of a groove, and the team has got in groove as well as I have. And playing so many games down the stretch, that meant so much. The last month was really playoff hockey for us, and I think you know, for us, you know, it's been a month of playoffs, and we've just kept it just rolling right along.
All right, thank you very much. Ron Tugnut, our guest here on the postgame. When we come back, Rick Jenneret and Jim Lorenz will wrap things up here from the Marine Midland Arena. The Ottawa Senators tied this series up at 1 with a 3-1 win here at the Marine Midland Arena. We'll be back with more after this.
Sometimes the batteries are included. Sometimes you find a space with time on the meter. It's great to get more than you expected, like with a Ford Escort. At such a great price, who'd expect the hot new styling and more powerful engine? But you get it all in an Escort at your local Ford dealers. But since we're talking about more than you expected, for a limited time, get an Escort and get $1,000 cash back. Now that's a pleasant surprise. But hurry, you can't expect this offer to last.
Sometimes, your day is filled with twists and turns. Handle it. Dunlop Tires. Made with pride in Western New York.
You are witnessing, in its entirety, the Volkswagen sales pitch.
You want to take it for a spin?
During our national test drive event, you can lease a Jetta GL for just $169 a month on a 2-year no-hassle lease, which means for the next 2 years, all you have to do is put in the gas. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
The Ottawa Senators proved to be full value for a 3-1 victory here at the Marine Midland Arena in Buffalo tonight. And the Sabres, or the Senators, I should say, came into this series knowing the first 2 games would be in Buffalo and knowing they had to win 1 in order to get back with the home ice advantage. Well, they've accomplished that.
And they did it in fine fashion here tonight. But when you look back at this game, I think the Sabres were very surprised and not prepared to handle the way Ottawa started this game. It was Ottawa who were bouncing Buffalo around. They delivered some very strong body checks. They were the aggressors, and the Sabres looked like they just did not know how to react to it and never got themselves going, only at periods of time, not consistently.
Well, let's take a look at our 1-800-COLLECT save of the game.
And it's a dandy. This is Andres Stackel, who will challenge Dominic Hasek, but Hasek is solid on this point-blank slap shot.
1-800-COLLECT for great savings. So now they'll be looking back to game number 3, and it'll switch back to Ottawa on Monday, in time for the Buffalo Club to regroup.
Yeah, to regroup. You know, there's not, you talk about line matchups tonight. There's the Ash and Pekka matchup, but I don't think Jacques Martin isn't too concerned about who's going to play against who. I know as the third period went on, they sort of got away from that. So these clubs are so evenly matched. But the Buffalo Sabres, again, one of our keys tonight was puck pursuit and pressure, and they didn't do it. They just didn't do it consistently enough, and that was one of the major reasons why Ottawa won. The second one was control of the neutral zone by the Senators and their power play. They scored 2 of the 3 goals on the power play.
And our best Dodge 3 stars from tonight's hockey game. Steve Duchesne, number 1. Daniel Alfredson, the 2nd star. And the Sabres' Randy Burrage selected the 3rd star. The Buffalo Sabres will be leaving tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, they'll be leaving late tomorrow morning to head on to Ottawa. They'll practice there tomorrow and prepare to meet the Senators in game number 3 at the Corel Center on Monday night. Rick Jenneret for Jim Lorenz and Dennis Williams from the Marine Midland Arena. Good night.
So the Ottawa Senators come up with a 3-1 win. Yes, the Sabres are division champs, but now the Ottawa Senators have home ice advantage.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty sobering evening, to say the least. Buffalo winning that first game and coming back. Things look good tonight, except Ottawa didn't feel the same way Buffalo did. They had a terrific game plan tonight. They followed it to a T. They worked like dogs. Give this team full marks. It was a very deserving win for Ottawa tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. A lot of replays, taking your calls here on the hotline. Join us. We're coming up next.
We waste no time. Right to Marine Midland Arena. Let's hear from Ted Nolan.
Injuries, you know, Ted?
Right now, Stan just took a shot in the ankle. I think he's okay.
Talk about Duchesne's goal, Ted, in the second period. Dawg took him out at the one end, and he came back and ended up scoring a goal.
Yeah, like I said, our penalty killing was very successful all season long, but tonight we just got a little rambunctious where we started going for hits on penalty killing, and we've never done that before, and tonight we did, and like I said, we just got out of sync a little bit.
They seemed like they were ready for your defense to step up. The defense was taking his guy out, but then their defense would step up and get the odd man rush on you, especially in the first period.
Like I said, they had a game plan going in. They wanted to get more shots, and if you want to get more shots, you have to get your defense involved, and that's what they did tonight. We just got to, like I said, we got to analyze the film, see what they did, and try to make some corrections on it.
What about rebounds in front of Dom tonight? Is it fair to say that maybe Dom wasn't as sharp as normal tonight?
Well, Dom was Dom's Dom. He played well again. We just didn't play well in front of him.
As you mentioned, in the first period they out-hit you, then in the second period it seemed like you guys got a lot more physical. How did you feel about the game physically?
Like I said, we tried. It wasn't wasn't a game where we didn't try. I just thought maybe we tried too hard. We got ourselves out of positions by trying to make some big hits and what have you. Rather than waiting for the hits to come, we kind of went looking for them, and that's not our team.
Ted, with what you saw tonight, do you make any changes, line changes possibly for Monday, or do you stay the course?
Well, right now it's kind of real. You can never make quick decisions on that. We'll have to look at the films and like I said, make some corrections on it.
And were you surprised with the way Ottawa started the game? Were you not quite as prepared as you would have liked to have been going into the first period?
Well, playoffs, you have to be prepared all the time, and like I said, Ottawa, like I said, they're not here by mistake. They worked their tail off to get here, and they're a hard-working club, and tonight they worked hard.
All right, you see Ted Nolan, his press conference, and he hit the nail right on the head. Yes, the Ottawa Senators worked hard. They completely outworked the Sabres.
Well, if Buffalo worked hard, then certainly Ottawa worked harder tonight. And as I mentioned, certainly you can't pull anything away from this Ottawa hockey club. They really had a gun to their head tonight. They had a lot of reasons to maybe fold and pack their tents a little bit and be satisfied that, hey, we just made the playoffs, like a lot of teams do when they finally make the playoffs for the first time. Didn't happen, boy. They're showing a lot of grit.
You talk about a monstrous goal. Too many men on the ice penalty, closing seconds of the second period.
Killer, Brian.
And they come out in the third. Sabres did have the momentum at that time going into the third, and after that, that was it.
Brian, I'm telling you, although Ottawa controlled this hockey game, at the end of the second period, Buffalo were really in a nice position. They were playing some pretty good hockey in that second period. Spotty, but they were rolling pretty good. The fans were getting into it, starting to pick up some speed. You go into the dressing room after the second, you sit down in the dressing room, you know your adrenaline's flowing, you're going the right direction, you get all fired up, everybody's yelling in there, come on, we're going to do it, let's go. You come out, and what happens? You stick it in the first 10 or 15 seconds, it just rips your heart out, and that's the end of that. So all your enthusiasm is gone right down the porcelain facility.
All right, we're off to Marine Midland Arena, and now, Jacques Martin.
Well, I thought we executed better tonight. No doubt the first game we didn't play very well. I thought we had a better effort tonight. We knew we had to play a lot harder. They're a good hockey club, and I thought we had big differences. We showed some discipline tonight, which in the first game we didn't have. We took a lot of bad penalties, and it hurt us. And also tonight, I thought the main factor was the special teams. I think the power play, 2 power play goals were the difference in the hockey game.
seemed a lot more conscious of crashing the net, creating traffic, and you got some good opportunities there. Were you thinking of that going in? That's something obviously you wanted to do.
Yeah, we have to do that against Dominic. I think he's a great goaltender, and you've got to be in position to create a screen or be in a position to get a rebound. But I thought the difference was the specialty teams.
Given the way you came out hitting so hard in the first period, obviously this is a team that you have to get a lead against, right? Because they're I'm speaking of the Sabres, they play much better with you than when they get down by 2, they're in a bit of trouble. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, no doubt. We wanted to come out hard tonight, and I thought getting that first goal was a big lift for our hockey club. It was a nice play by Zoltak. Going around their defenseman, and Dackel coming in to get the rebound. So I thought it was a very nice play.
Chuck, 25-0-5 with the lead after 2. Is there something that you do? Can you explain that at all?
Well, I think that we just we're a team that hasn't scored a lot of goals all year, but when we do get a lead, I think we seem to be able to defend a lead pretty well. I think we have a lot of people that are conscious defensively, and again, you got to give some credit to Ron Tugnut. He made the big save when called upon.
Jacques, on a parlé de la robustesse longtemps. Il semble que justement c'est ce que tu voulais de tes joueurs. Ils ont bien sorti physiquement ce soir. Ils ne sont pas éparpillés comme tu souhaitais.
Je pense définitivement, on a bien répondu à l'appel ce soir. On était prêts.
We give you everything. What did he say?
I don't know. I'm a Frenchman. I can't talk it.
He said we won the game, and Dominic's a great goalie, and we're really happy to go home.
Coaches are very careful what they're saying.
Yeah, really.
They want to give each other any ammunition.
Everybody's walking on eggs. All right, the Volkswagen keys to the game. The Senators get the job done.
All right, let's start up the Volkswagen. The number one key tonight, Buffalo forwards, they didn't back up the defense at all. Buffalo consistently pinched in all night long, took chances. That's okay. You want to be aggressive, but the forwards have to read this and back the D up. They didn't do a very good job of that. Buffalo couldn't gain the blue line. Many times Ottawa stood up the blue line. I'm talking about in Buffalo's zone. They weren't getting the puck out over the blue line. Ottawa kept it in. Great work by the Ottawa defense. In Ottawa, they simply kept their mistakes down to a minimum, and they did not fold late in the game like they did in the first game.
And hats off to Steve Duchesne.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
I mean, they pounded him, to a pulp, and he just kept on coming back.
He was the Energizer Bunny tonight.
He was.
Yeah, all right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we've got the highlights for you. This series is all even, heading to Ottawa.
The Labatt Hockey Hotline is sponsored by Campbell's Chunky, soup that eats like a meal.
Fresh tasting coconut. BC's Mountain Beer is here.
I would like to show you my Discover Card statement by Paul Poundstone. Well, I don't know that my Discover Card statement has changed since I became a foster mom, because I always bought toys. But now, of course, privately, I'm forced to give them to the children. When I was invited to the inaugural ball, I did have to find a ball gown, and I like to think I found a lovely understated little number.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I need cash advances. I just need to be slathered in ones and fives.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
We are the only sports news that takes you live to the game sites across America every night with our exclusive box scans.
Let's go live to the Great Western Forum.
Kobe, 22 minutes, 21 points. Locker room scoops from 45 arenas.
Let's go live to the Kiel Center.
It was a great bounce-back effort by everyone.
40-announce teams covering hundreds of games.
Live to the summit. We're very concerned about his health. FoxScan, why we alone can say at Fox Sports News, we are there.
Welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Brian Blessing and Mike Robitaille, and we're going to send it down to Marine Midland Arena. Jim Brinson's going to be off to Ottawa, but right now he's standing by with Mike Wilson. Jim, take it away.
All right, fellas, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a different sort of locker room this evening than it was on Thursday night, obviously. Anytime you don't get the W, the mood is a little bit somber, and that's exactly the way it is right now for Mike Wilson joining us here. You know, Mike, this is a game in which it seemed that Ottawa came out. They had the jump in the skates early in that first period. They put an awful lot of pressure on you guys right away.
Yeah, we talked about that before the game. We knew they'd be coming hard. They usually come first 10 minutes of the game. They've been all over us most of the year, so we were just trying to get through that and then take it from there. But they just kept coming for 2 periods, and then in the third, I thought we took it to them.
Yeah, you did take it to them a little bit in the third period, but at that time they already had the lead. It's very difficult, I think, to operate against their trap.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I don't think we're doing too bad. You know, when we're taking our time and relaxing with the puck, you know, going D to D to D and then up to the winger, it's not bad. But no, we've gotten a few penalties today, and it cost us. And you know, 5-on-5, once we get them down low, I think we can dominate them.
What happened on the real key penalty, which made it 3-1 when they came out and they scored, and it was too many men on the ice?
Yeah, I guess I think Jason Dodd jumped over the boards, and the puck came to him, and you know, everyone's anxious to get into the play, and everyone wants the puck. You know, if you don't want the puck, there's no sense being on the ice. And it came right to him, and he played it too soon, and it cost us.
All right. In the game this evening, however, you had some big-time body hits on some people, and during the commercial break, just before we came back live here, you indicated to me it's something that you've really been trying to concentrate on, at least in the last, month or so.
Yeah, I talked to the coaches, and they talked to me and stuff, and you know, I'm a big guy, and I gotta learn to use my size, and you know, it's not natural for me, I guess, to be a physical player, but I'm trying to teach myself how to do it. And every time someone comes in my corner in front of the net, I'm going to hit them and try to hurt them.
I know you got other interviews to do. Final question: Ottawa on Monday night. What does the team have to do to get the win there?
Well, I think we got to play the way we did in the third and actually second half to third and get lots of shots and head to the net. There seems to be a lot of rebounds hanging around the slot, and if we can get to those, I think we'll do well.
Mike Wilson, our guest live down here at Marine Midland Arena. Fellas, back to you in the studio.
All right, Jim, we'll be back to you shortly with more interviews from Marine Midland Arena. 3-1 is the final. Michael, let's have a look at the highlights of this one. Early on, Senators showed that they meant business.
Yeah, and they had to do that. It was an imperative that they came out and really tried to set the tone of this game, and surely they did with some great hits also.
All right, we'll pick it up with the first goal of the game, and there you see it. Good work here. Zoltak goes around Jay McKee, and Andreas Dackel is going to put it home.
Yeah, he didn't turn too well here. He got a little flat-footed. His outside turn didn't work for him, and the rebound is there, and Primo was right there to take the man. Really didn't take him hard enough. Got a stick free, poked it into the net.
And Pekka is clobbered by Pitlick.
Well, I think that's one of the major hits of the game right here. And poor Mike, I mean, he's just struggling to get over to the bench. Look at this. I mean, I think his forehead went right into the glass. He's trying to find his stick right now. He doesn't know what country he's in, Mars, Pluto, but still, you know, he wouldn't let them know that he was hurt.
And we'll pick it up with the Sabres on the offensive, trying to get an opportunity on Tugnut. Burridge goes to the net, but Tugnut's able to deny him.
Yeah, Tugnut wasn't overworked tonight, but he was challenged on about 4 or 5 really good saves in which he stood right up, made the save, didn't flop down, got back up on his feet, and his positioning tonight was outstanding.
Senators on top, 1-0. We take it to the second period. And the Senators, they will open this one up a little bit. A huge hit, Daw on Duchesne, and they did this all night long. And this is the beauty of this play, Mike. Back the other way. Who is the key to the goal? It's Duchesne. He first comes in, trails the play, gets the big shot, and then has the presence of mind to follow the play. Follow the puck, go to the net, the backhander, it crawled in. So great effort.
So dangerous when a defenseman moves up, but this is what he does as well as any defenseman in the NHL. Jason Daw hit him as hard as you can possibly hit anyone, just about took his head off, and still went down, followed up the play, very deserving goal, and there's a beauty right there.
Just 53 seconds later, Audette with a nice breakout pass to Holzinger, who threads it through. Burridge makes no mistake.
Yeah, Holzinger, just enough. You see the legs of the defenseman just opened up enough Burridge goes to the net with authority. And baby, that puck was right there for him. In it goes. Now the game is really tight.
What a great defensive play. McEachran thinks he's got one on the board, and Pekka lifts his stick. What a play.
Yeah, you really appreciate that. And that's playoff hockey. That's why Pekka has a heck of a shot this year of being voted the best defensive forward in the National Hockey League.
Before we get to the third period highlights, right at the end of the second period, too many men on the ice. It should not happen.
Yeah, take a pin and just stick it right into a balloon. I mean, the air came out, and that was just very demoralizing. It was tough to take. And then you go in the dressing room, you get sky high again, and then boom, they came out and scored off that penalty early in the third period, and I really thought that was a killer for them. They were coming on at that point, and I really thought they were in a position to come back and certainly tie the game up and possibly go on to a win.
Well, here's the one that really puts this game away, and it comes right out of the gate in the third period. It is the Senators on the power play, and they will score just 18 seconds into the third period. Yashin sets up Alfredson, put it on the board. Shannon had a tough time on this play.
Yeah, the puck almost came together at the same time with the goal scorer, and just unfortunately, Dominic was right down and out and went up over his shoulder into the wide open net, and what a save right here.
Oh boy, off the shaft of the stick, Tugnet denies Shatan, a huge save, and afterward, celebration all around for the Senators, and deservedly so. They came up with a huge effort. They win this one 3-1, and they've got the split they so desperately wanted, Mike.
Yeah, just one thing before we go to back down to Jim Brinson. I know he has Brian Holzinger, but, you know, one of the keys here for Ottawa when they go into this series against Buffalo, there aren't a lot of areas, I think, where they're better than Buffalo, but one place they can beat Buffalo is with the power play, and that was so effective tonight. Their power play was scintillating.
All right, we go off to Jim Brinson down at Marine Midland Arena. Jim, this is going to be a tough test for the Sabres now. They have to go on the road, and the Corral Center certainly going to be jumping.
You know, you guys are right about that. It is going to be a very difficult test. Obviously, anytime you're at home, you like to get the first two games. The Sabres accomplished what they set out to on Thursday night, getting the win. However, did not get the win this evening, and Ottawa got what they wanted, and that was a split. So now, with Brian Holzinger next to me, is that your basic thought process? You want to go to Ottawa and at least come away with a split?
Oh, sure. I mean, anytime you can go into the opposition's building and at least get a win, sure, it's good for your hockey team, especially when you have home ice advantage. So we're going to have to refocus. They played well tonight. You know, we didn't play well enough to win, but I thought we did a lot of good things out there. But you know, we just have to refocus and come ready to play on Monday.
Brian, is this something right now where the guys sort of reflect back on what took place in tonight's game and you just take it right here and then put it right behind you immediately?
Exactly. That's the only thing you can do in a 7-game series. Whether you win the game or lose the game, that game's over with, and you have to move on to the next game. And you know, we lost tonight. The series is 1-1. We're going back to their barn, a very difficult place to play. The crowd really gets into it, so it's going to be important for us to be focused and be ready right from the get-go and try to get the crowd out of it.
What happened tonight? They seemed to just have a little more jump, particularly in the first period of the game.
Yeah, the first period was a little difficult one for us. You know, they were playing desperate hockey. They knew that they had to come out of here with the win and going back into their place to be in a pretty good situation. So, you know, you got to give them a lot of credit. They played good. They went to the net well. They scored 2 goals on the power play. You know, specialty teams is so important in the playoffs, and you know, we got to stay out of the box, and that's something we've talked about. You know, as we were preparing for this series and after Game 1.
Is it a question right now too that you have to solve, Ron Tugnutt?
Yeah, you know, he's playing well. I mean, he's a big part of their hockey team, and you know, we didn't get enough shots on him tonight, and we got to get back to shooting the puck on the net, going to the net for rebounds, and get those ugly type goals. I mean, that's how we're going to be successful against them. He's kind of in the zone right now, so just have to create some traffic in front of him.
Final question, because I know you got things to do in the locker room, and this is a question which deals with the Monday night game. We already talked about how you take this loss, put it aside, and you get to start thinking positively for Monday night. Do you do anything different Monday night, or do you come in and just try to take it to the next level on Monday night?
Exactly. You try to take it to the next level. You know, definitely they're going to have a lot of momentum going into their home building. You know, now the series is 1-1, so you know, we're just going to have to play a good, solid road game, make the right plays, make sure the puck gets deep, and all the little things right. And you know, I think with the team that we have, if we play with a lot of confidence, we'll be in a pretty good situation to win a hockey game.
Brian Holzinger, our guest here at Marine Midland Arena. Once again, he's got to get back into the locker room. He has other interviews to take care of. We appreciate you taking time to come in and do our interview live here on the Empire Sports Network. Guys, back to you in the studio.
All right, Jim, you're off to Ottawa. Take us through it. Give us all the reports you're going to be giving us and when.
Hey, fellas, how can you miss? It's a great road trip.
All right, have a good one, Jim. We'll be looking forward to your reports from Ottawa, the Sabres and the Senators, and all even at 1.
It's going to be a tight series. I like Buffalo in 5. I might have to change things a little bit here. This might go 6 or 7. All
right, now we're taking a look at these series keys, and you're going to see a lot of Senator heads here.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at it. And here are the series keys for me anyway. So at this point, goaltending, and certainly in favor of Ottawa this evening. They get the upper hand in goaltending. Buffalo, they had to control Yashin, Daig, and Duchesne. Well, Yashin and Daig, I don't know, they called in sick tonight. I didn't notice them, so they must have been covered pretty good. Duchesne played a heck of a game. They didn't cover him well enough, although they pounded the living daylights out of him. He still showed up, so they didn't have enough. Give it to Ottawa. Now, let's go to the bottom one. No nonsense. They just had to go out and win it. Well, that worked in reverse. Ottawa came out, and it was no nonsense. They went out and won it.
My keys, obviously, Hasek is right at the top of the list. Dominic tonight, I don't believe, had a very strong game, simply put, and it reflects in the final score. Sabres transition game, the Senators' defense, really a strong game tonight. The Sabres, very few quality chances. In game 1, Duchesne played 27 minutes. Mike, he was hardly noticeable. Tonight, he was spectacular.
Yeah. And I wonder how much more, how much pounding can a guy take? I mean, they really actually, they say, did they cover him? They hit him about as much as you can possibly hit a guy.
And he still made his presence felt. We're going to take a break and come right back at you. We'll update you with scores and highlights from around the NHL playoff action, first round.
Guess whose new Lumina came with 3 years of scheduled maintenance at no additional charge? And who won't be paying for gas for 1 whole year? Chevy Lumina buyers could be the most worry-free people around, because now you can get scheduled maintenance for 3 years or gasoline for 1 year at no additional charge. Chevy Lumina. For just $249 a month, who wouldn't be a happy camper? See your local Chevrolet dealers.
Patients are surprised to find that at Erie County Medical Center, they have cardiac surgery of international quality.
Dr. John Bell Thompson, Director of Cardiothoracic Surgery at ECMC.
The commitment we made, the equipment we have, and the team that pulls it all together is what makes us as good as we are.
If you're facing cardiac surgery or have questions about your heart, count on Western New York's heart surgery leader, ECMC.
Welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Let's take a phone call. Steve at Orchard Park. Hello, Steve.
Hi, how you doing tonight, guys?
Good
to have you on.
Good. I know it's kind of sacrilege in this town, but I think that Hasek didn't play a very good game tonight, especially that second goal. I thought it was pretty soft. I want to know what you guys thought about his play tonight.
Didn't think Dominic had a very good game at all. And in fact, Mike, not just that goal. Usually, those are the kind of goals that beat him, the little dribblers. But I thought tonight, and he never does this, Dominic was giving up some pretty healthy rebounds.
Yeah, I think, you know, occasionally. I mean, this guy spoils us to the point you just expect it every night. And you know what you watched tonight was a normal goaltending display, what most teams get in the National Hockey League. And that wasn't his best game tonight. And also going to the net, I thought that penalty kind of hurt too, bringing the glove up, and I think he caught Yashin in the head, and that caused a penalty. So it was, you know, it's what, one every 15 or 20 games he's going to play like that. I'm sure the next game everything will be back to normal again.
Also, I'd like to see our power plays hurting us big time right now, I think.
Well, we knew that going into the playoffs. It was going to hurt. There's not much they can do about it, or it would have been taken care of before the season was over. So there's no reason for you or anyone else to think that all of a sudden overnight they're going to develop a great power play. They've been working hard at it. It's not developing. That's one thing that Ottawa does have the upper hand over Buffalo, is that their power play is very, very effective. Their defensemen find a way to get the puck through, get a shot on goal. They converge on goal for goals for rebounds, and a solid power play, to say the least.
Mike, thanks for the call, Steve. Talking about the power play, we watched it this evening. It seemed like there was some puck movement, but the Senators are on top of the Sabres, and everybody, as soon as they get it, they fire it, never able to take a look at the net. Is that maybe in large part the biggest problem? The puck movement is not quick enough?
No, I think the biggest problem is a lack of power play talent. You need a certain mindset to play a power play, especially from the defensive position. And they have a few defensemen back there that play the power play fairly good, but a real ice general like a Duchesne or a Raymond Bourque, that type of defenseman that can really make a power play click, and they're lacking that. This team's power play has been so bad for so long that they're not playing with any confidence. And if you don't have confidence, you're not going to beat a Pee-wee team. You have to play this game with confidence, and it would be hard to believe that the power play has any confidence right now. So they're behind the 8 ball before they even start.
All right, we've got highlights for you from around the NHL. We get things started in New Jersey. The Devils up 1-0, taking on the Canadiens. Martin Brodeur in net. I know you're not thrilled with the Canadiens' goaltending in this one. From Tebow, we pick it up on the power play. John McLean gets him off to a good start. Ellett with the nice setup.
Yeah, it was a nice setup, but I mean, you have to make those saves, or at least come close. He wasn't even close to making the save. There's a problem here with this Montreal team. It's goaltending, and it's really showing so far in this series.
This could be a problem. McLean scores again on the power play, but what is this new tradition? A pig's head on the ice.
Yeah, I know. This is really different, isn't it?
What does this mean?
Just like, would you eat something like that?
Oh, my dear.
You're going to be some human heads out there if they keep on bringing the sticks up as high as they have been.
Billy Guerin gets another one on the power play. Bobby Carpenter would score one. The Habs did finally get a goal. Brian Savage got the marker, but the shots on goal.
Goaltending's a problem.
40,
right? But still, I know. Good goaltending. I mean, look where those shots were taken from. You can't win.
But the Devils smoked them. 41-22.
Smoked them if they had Ken Dryden in there.
All right, we've got action now. What a game this was. Pittsburgh and Philly. Flyers up 1-0 in the series. Yager to Lemieux. We've seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, they've made a lot of money with that play, haven't they? And they just do it consistently well year after year, and it seems like no one has caught on. Are you kidding?
All right, we go to the third period. Ninema the shot. Joel Otto, the big guy with the tip.
Joel Otto would have trouble breaking a bag of eggs with his shot, and he scores from about 35, 40 feet out. Poor goaltending once again.
Yager, vintage.
Yeah, I guess so. That's one of the nicest goals you'll ever watch. And they're all over this guy, and he's so strong, he just pulled away.
But the Flyers would come back. Reggett had just a marvelous game this evening. John LeClaire is going to get one here, jumps on the loose puck. Boy, you know, goal scorers find a way.
Yeah, they do. Isn't that funny? Other guys could shoot the puck in the same position all season long, would never go in. Goal scorers find a way to put the puck in.
Oh, boy.
Look at this. Where's that good goal?
Now, you got to watch this. We get another look at this. Trent Klatt's going to get credit for it, but in essence, Reggett is going to kick this little dribbler into his own net. There you see it. He sees it. Oh, that hurts. 3-2, the final. The Flyers, a 2-0 lead in that series. So we've got two series in the East that are 2-zip, the Sabres and Senators. We thought it would be a good one. It is a good one. Tied at 1.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. And we've got a dogfight here, and guess what? Ottawa, if they lose tonight, I think they're out of it. They didn't. They're in it, and they have to go back to Ottawa and beat that club into a place that is not very friendly.
It's all fun and games. We throw out predictions and stuff, but
this series is going to be really good.
Sabres in a fin? I don't know.
I took Sabres in 5.
I know.
And I'm not going to change my mind. I'm staying with them.
No, I'm not.
For at least another game. Listen, win or tie, I'm with them all the way.
I think this is a good one. This is 6 or 7, I think. This is going to be fun. All right, playoff hot shots. There have been some big-time playoff performers. How about the guys in Anaheim having some fun at the Coyotes expense?
I'm so happy for that hockey club. Delaney's supposed to put a show on. That's exactly what he has done so far. And J.J. Daniel stepping up from his defensive position, very effective. And Patrick Waugh, well, he's supposed to play his best hockey in the playoffs, and he lives up to that billing year after year.
What did he fall, about 8, 9, 10 minutes short of the all-time playoff shutout record?
That's right, yeah.
All right. We're going to take a timeout. We're coming right back. The Labatt Hockey Hotline. Sabres taking on the Chin tonight. The Senators get the win 3-1.
Visit the Empire Sports Network website at www.empiresports.com and send your comments to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Internet services provided by Online Media. You are connected. Call 1-800-492-3664 and get online today.
Jim Brinson and Howard Simon, Fan TV. Last week on Fan TV, we previewed the NFL Draft with Dwight Adams from the Bills and also the Sabres-Senators series with Larry Quinn, John Muckler, and Matthew Barnaby. Next week, road trip to Ottawa. We'll be there live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on Fan TV with all of the NHL playoff action. So make sure you're watching Fan TV weeknights at 4:30. Your voice, your choice.
It's a World Championship 18 years in the making. Finally, the Commissioner's Trophy has come home to where it belongs. The 1996 New York Yankees, champions of the American League East, owners of their first league pennant in 15 years, and once again, world champions. Celebrate the Bronx Bombers' ride to baseball's pinnacle with the New York Yankees World Championship plaque. Each plaque includes an officially licensed 8x10 team photo featuring Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Cecil Fielder, Darryl Strawberry, Andy Pettit, and more. Below the photo is a nameplate detailing the Yankees' rise to their unprecedented 23rd World Championship. Call the toll-free number today to add to your collection of baseball memorabilia or give a gift that any Yankees fan will cherish. Operators are standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your order. Supplies are limited, so call today.
The Rust Stop of the game, brought to you by Rust Stop. Oil treatment for your car penetrates where others can't.
All right, welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Let's go to Boston, New York. Nick's on the line. Hi, Nick.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Nick,
Thanks
fire
for
away.
First of all, that last caller took one of my comments about Dominic playing pretty ordinary tonight. I think Buffalo's going to be in trouble if he continues to do that, which I don't think he will. Also, Mike, I have to agree with you about these shots on goal. The more, the better. Buffalo keeps getting outshot. I don't understand why. Ottawa was outshot last game. They said they were going to come in and take more shots, and that's exactly what they did.
You know, Nick, before the third period, I think the shots were over like 2-1 in favor of Ottawa. So you're right, and that was part of the game plan to come in and get a lot more shots than Dominic Hasek. Guess what? They did it. And they did it because they just skated Buffalo into submission and won a lot of one-on-one battles. Stood up at the blue line very well, keeping the puck into the Buffalo zone, and that also caused an awful lot more shots.
Not that Tugnutt needed a boost in confidence the way he played at the end of the season, but the lack of activity, I mean, it just builds his confidence, right? I mean, you got to keep him busy and just keep going and make him think a little bit out there. Yeah,
he is playing exceptionally well, and I know a lot of people like to relate back to the fact that, well, he played in the American League last year. Well, this guy has been all over the league. He's played for about 9 or 10 different professional teams. When he finally ended up in Ottawa, found a home. They love him. He's a great team player, and he has done a spectacular job for Ottawa, just as Hasek has done for this team. You take both those players out of the equation, you might be looking at a real struggle for the playoffs in most games. We turn to the rust stop of the game, and before we roll this, Chetan noted for having the quick hands and being able to get the puck off his stick quickly. Now, when you look at this, he hangs on to it, and he has the time from the best spot possible. And boy, this thing was labeled, and sometimes you got to be lucky, off the shaft of the stick handle. Watch the top of Tugnutt's stick, Mike. Yeah, that's exactly where he stops the puck, and a nice turnover right here, and good work by Buffer. Holds, then snaps, and right off the shaft and stick, the upper shaft. So, you know, but I must tell you, and I mentioned this before, when you're really into a game and you're feeling good and you're cocky, you have your confidence, that puck can be any place you want. You'll take the stick and bat it out of the air like you have a lacrosse stick. It's like nothing. You never miss it. When you're not playing with confidence, you go for it, you miss it by a foot.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and come right back at you on the Labatt Hockey Hour.
Because millions of tons of road salt, freezing temperatures, and wet weather put western New York in the Rust Belt, turn to Rust Stop. Rust Stop is a revolutionary new way to fight your car's worst enemy. Rust Stop is the only oil-based rust-proofing treatment available for new and used cars. Our special formula and high-pressure applications penetrates into seams and crevices that waxes and paints can't. New vehicles are given a lifetime guarantee. Protect your investment with Rust Stop.
Available at all Schmitz locations, dealers in Batavia, Medina, and Clarence. Rust Stop. It works.
Sometimes the batteries are included. Sometimes you find a space with time on the meter. It's great to get more than you expected, like with a Ford Escort. At such a great price, who'd expect the hot new styling and more powerful engine? But you get it all in an Escort at your local Ford dealers. But since we're talking about more than you expected, for a limited time, get an Escort and get $1,000 cash back. Now that's a pleasant surprise. But hurry, you can't expect this offer to last.
When asked, 9 out of 10 people say they'd rather be on vacation than at home.
Come on.
I'm bored. Hey, do not throw the dust.
Of course, most of you people they asked didn't own a John Deere, because in survey after survey, folks are more satisfied with John Deere than other lawn tractors.
Honey, it's green.
It sure is. Nothing runs like a Deere.
See your local John Deere dealer, C.J. Perry & Son in Gasport or Goodrich Farm in Alexander and Oakfield.
The Hot 3 of the game, brought to you by Kendall Motor Oil. Kendall products, available at No Bull Fast Oil Change.
Let's go to Dublin, California.
Right.
All right, Brian, how you doing?
Good. How are you gentlemen doing?
Good. All right.
Good. Sitting here watching the game on my satellite dish. All I got is a couple of quick comments, and I'll let you folks, have your say on what I got to what I have to point out.
Fire away.
Okay. First off, a goaltender, he might have an off night, but a goalie can only be as good as the defenseman in front of him. And to me, the defensemen today just seemed to be they were playing, and the hits don't win you games. So to me, defensemen have to stand the guy up and get him outside in the boards and get the puck out of the zone. Now that's a regular in any type of hockey game. Now if the defenseman could just step up and do that, I think, in my opinion, Buffalo would have the game. And another point is, when you have a penalty with too many men on the ice, I think what a coach should do is take the players off to the side into the locker room and say, look, suck it up. We'll fight off the power play and get back into the game. And that's basically all I had to say. I think Buffalo will take it in 6. It's an excellent series, one of the top 3 out of this year, I think. And I'll let you gentlemen go.
All right, Brian, thank you. All right, a couple things real quick. I thought Shannon struggled this evening. And was it me? But Gary Galley looked really slow tonight. He looked tired this evening.
No, it was you.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Brian, you don't look so sharp yourself.
We all have our evenings.
All right. A little orange.
That's a daily occurrence.
Okay, all right. Now, listen. Brian, you're right. The defense, they have to stand up and pound some bodies. But if you watch the Sabres play all year, they're not an overpowering defense physically. They haven't got a multitude of guys that just go out there and live to hit. They have a few players who pop some bodies around there, but other than that, pretty well taking guys out to the outside. But you're right. If they do that, it makes it a lot easier for Dominic Hasek. And certainly, they didn't have one of their better games. The last game, the opening game, in my mind, Buffalo's defense had the best game they've had all season long. Magnificent. I gave them an A+ in the report. They almost played a flawless game. Tonight's a little different story.
All right. And certainly a lot of that is a tip of the hat to the Senators, who really made them work that hard.
Yeah, they got, well, one of the reasons why Buffalo's defense played so well in that opening game, they had a little working room, a little time. They didn't have as much time tonight.
All right, it's time now for the Kendall Motor Oil Hot 3 of the game, and they are all from Ottawa.
Yeah, Steve Duchesne going into the game, you know you have to pulverize this guy, but even though they did pulverize him, it still didn't work. It wasn't enough. Duchesne was magnificent. Lance Pitlick sets the tone of this hockey game. He threw a couple thundering checks out there, especially on Mike Pekka. And Randy Cunneyworth was just the captain of this hockey club.
He was tonight.
And you could put a big C right on his forehead if you like, because he was another magnificent player who really set the tone in this hockey game.
Honorable mention, I thought McEachran had a good game. Senators, top to bottom,
Jason Daw had a decent game also.
He was banging
threw
bodies.
Some terrific checks
Yes,
tonight.
he was. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We will be back momentarily.
You want independence, financial reward, opportunity. At Schneider National, your opportunity is now. Even with no prior driving experience, you'll earn $500 to $700 a week your first year. And as a valued driver for the world's largest truckload carrier, you'll earn nearly $1,000 a week within just 3 years. Call for more information today. Schneider offers a free comprehensive driver training program to get you ready for the challenges, adventures, and opportunities available to you as a professional driver. Call Schneider National today and get your career rolling. If you have the spirit for travel and independence, the drive to earn $1,000 a week within 3 years, and the desire for a stable career with one of the world's most secure transportation companies, explore becoming a Schneider driver today. Call now for a free information packet.
Fresh tasting kokanee. BC's Mountain Beer is here.
Welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Let's go to Elizabeth in Tonawanda. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you?
Yes, hi. My question tonight is, if the Sabres keep playing average as they did tonight, and the Ottawa keeps playing as they do you think this could be a preview for the rest of the playoff games?
Well, if the games go as they did tonight, Buffalo will not win the series. Ottawa will beat them. Ottawa is very deserving that win tonight. They get full marks, and if they play that well up in Ottawa and Buffalo don't respond, then it will be a short series. As a matter of fact, in Ottawa's favor. But that drops on the head and on the shoulders of the Buffalo Sabres. Now it's their turn to show some moxie and the gumption that Ottawa did tonight.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you for the call. Now, game one, we saw the Sabres obviously very well prepared. We assumed very much so that they had gone to the video with the shots that were high that beat Tugnut. What does Donnie Lever and company do?
Well, you know, Brian, you say they're well prepared for the first game, and they went out, and yes, they were well prepared. But I'm saying, and also tonight, they're well prepared for a nice game. Don't think. I mean, I'm sure the coaches got them fired up, and the player and everything. You can only bring them to a certain point, and then the players have to respond. And if they're not going to respond, if they're not ready to sweat blood out there to win a hockey game, then it's not going to happen. Ottawa came out tonight and really played so well from start to finish. There's a few times in the second period where they backed off a little bit, but they were warriors. They really came out and did something that most people, including myself, didn't think could be pulled off, and that was to win that game tonight. I really like Buffalo not only to win the game tonight, I thought they would win handily. I thought they'd break their back from the opening night, and it didn't.
Well, okay, it's easy to say now, but I didn't. Isn't normally the second game of a playoff series the hardest one to win? Oh, the last one's the hardest one to win. But the second one, obviously, the team knows we're in a world of hurt if we go home down 2-0.
No, you're right. You're right. It's critical. I mean, if they lose tonight, it's all over. Because of that win tonight, now it's not all over. They're back and living very well, as a matter of fact, and right now feeling pretty cocky as they're flying home back to Ottawa. Their fans are going to be there to embrace them, and they think they're going to go out and win that third game. Now it's Buffalo's turn to reverse things.
We'll get your nice new book, But
isn't that a
fortunately,
nice book?
I like the book with the report card. But as we open it up and the bell tells us it's time for the teacher to
Yeah,
give us
gee,
the
last
grade.
night, would they get all straight A's?
Oh, it was a nice
just
book
A
last night.
pluses and everything. Goaltending a B minus, and I might be a little generous there, but I just happen to love this goaltender, so I'll give him a break on that. The defense C plus, forward C, and the effort a C plus. They got spanked around pretty good and got outworked in most cases, most positions on the ice throughout the whole game.
A brief respite is upon us. We will be back shortly.
What has Canada given the world? Well, there's our national fabric, our sport, our fashion models, our music, and in 42 countries, our beer. Guess it's not enough with the world's peacekeepers. We're just gonna have to be their brewmaster too.
The play of the game, brought to you by Nice.
Welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline.
Yes, sir.
How about them Senators?
Yeah, they play strong, Brian.
Larry and Cheektowaga, what'd you think?
How you doing, guys?
Good, Larry.
What do you think of that game tonight?
I didn't like it at all. I just have three quick comments. First of all, I don't understand why Teddy Nolan didn't have Ronan in the lineup. I've talked to you about this before. You know, the guy played on a cup winner, and I don't see why he changed the lineup. And I really believe that if they lose this series, I mean, it's long from over, but if they lose it, I think it could be a long time, you know, for them to get back on track. I think it would, you know, really be devastating. And I have to agree with your other callers about Dominic. I thought that he was less than ordinary tonight, and I think it's almost inexcusable to lose to a team like Ottawa at home. I could see if it was Philly or Jersey, but to lose to Ottawa, I mean, I just can't see it. I know they played a hell of a game tonight, and they deserve to win. But I still think it's inexcusable to lose to a team like that, and I just thank you guys for letting me get on.
All right, Larry, thanks for calling. Boy, I'll tell you, Larry, though, I can't agree with that. I mean, they played pretty doggone hard to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, but think about it, Brian. You're at home with a team you've won. You're the division leader, one of the best teams in the NHL.
The Sabres played horribly. I'm not making an excuse for them, but how can you say, I can't believe they lost to Ottawa? I mean, they're in.
Do you think Ottawa outworked Buffalo tonight?
They killed them.
So why? So that's where you get Larry's hitting the nail. How could that happen?
I agree with Larry. I'd say it's inexcusable. I mean, that's like saying they have absolutely.
Maybe that's too strong.
To say they have absolutely no chance. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I know where Larry's coming from, and I know what he's talking. I mean, when you really think about it, the season that Buffalo had, the goaltender they have, and where they ended up, and the division leaders, and all the rest of it, and you're playing against Ottawa, just scratched to get into the playoffs. I mean, and they come in here and they whacked you pretty good. I can see where he's coming from also.
Game one wasn't a walk in the park.
Oh, no, listen, you know, I couldn't believe a lot of people say, hey, Ottawa didn't play well. They didn't play a very good game. I didn't think they played that bad for two periods.
It was 1-1 in the third.
They caved in the third period, but up till then, that game was dead even.
All right, the nice play of the game.
All right, let's have a look at it.
You called this one very early on.
Yeah, right away. As soon as I saw it, I said,
excuse me.
Here's the play of the game. I said, mark this down right here, and sure enough, Pitlick just about drove poor Pekka right through the boards. And I'm going to tell you, I love the hit, but you know what I really love is watch Pekka after he gets nailed right here. Right? You can't get hit any harder. But if they continue to roll here, watch this kid. Poor kid doesn't know. He thinks he's in California right now on a fishing expedition. He has no idea. He got up, he fell down, tried to grab his stick. He fell down. Brian, I've been there. I'm telling you, he didn't want that guy to know that he was hurt, and God love him for it. That's why Mike Peck is what he is.
Really set the tone.
But that set the tone. That was the play of the game until, of course, that penalty late in the second period, and they scored in the third, and that just pulled the air right out of them. There's the game.
Larry wants to talk about something inexcusable. It's too many men on the ice that cost you a goal in the playoffs.
That's deadly.
That's
no question about it.
All right, we're taking a break and coming right back.
Chevy Blazer's exclusive driver control system keeps you in control of the road, while Chevy Blazer keeps you in control of your budget. With a special offer that lets you drive one for just $289 a month, Blazer is loaded with features and priced thousands less than the competition. See your local Chevrolet dealer and drive one home for just $289 a month. And please, try to control yourself until you get your own.
One phone call can change your life. One call, and you'll have a Health Rider, the exercise machine that started a fitness revolution. The Health Rider will be delivered to your door fully assembled, so you can try it in your own home for 30 days. In just those 30 days with the Health Rider, you'll find that you'll look and feel better. Your clothes will fit better. You'll even sleep better. That's because the Health Rider gently stretches and tones every major muscle group in your body at the same time. So in just minutes a day, you get a full body workout. You won't believe what a difference that can make to your life. You'll have more energy, you'll lose weight, you'll build muscle. And if all that doesn't happen, just send the Health Rider back for a full refund. But it will happen. It will surely happen. So call us for information. Now is the time to feel good about yourself. To get off the diet merry-go-round and lose those pounds and inches. Call us now. The call is free. The trial is free. One phone call can change your life.
Hey, let's go to Amherst. Lisa's on the line. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for calling, Lisa.
Okay, I just want to know how the Sabres could play with such intensity Thursday night and not have the killer instinct to come out and beat the Senators and go up 2-0 at home.
That's a great question, and my question to you is,
what?
Does the series itself lack intensity?
No, I think there's plenty of intensity. I don't mind the intensity of this series so far. Yeah, that's a head-scratcher, Lisa, and I guess there is no excuse. That's all. I can't sit here and make an excuse. Buffalo's a better team than Ottawa. Buffalo, normally, they work like dogs. And when they do that, they win hockey games. First game, very even through the first two periods. I thought Ottawa played very well. In the third period, they poured it on and just laid Ottawa all over the ice in the third. Came out tonight, Ottawa came back and did the same thing to Buffalo, except Buffalo, they lacked that moxie in the third period like Ottawa did in the first game. So why that happens, I don't know. That's because this game is so mental. Is that you have to be in shape physically? Certainly, but it's right here, baby, from here on in. It's where your head is at. You can almost stand outside a dressing room before a game. Brian, you remember tonight, you remember, you get over here. Do you remember tonight when we're watching the game and they pan the bench?
The bench?
I said, Brian, I said, look, you can see it in their eyes. Put the carry. It was, the faces were dry, they're drawn, they're down. There was nothing on the bench.
Immediately we looked at each other and said, uh-oh.
I said, that's it. That's it. I'm telling you, I know it because I used to sit there myself like that. And
is that because you just feel it going away from you?
It's just not, no matter what you do, listen, they didn't want to play that way tonight. They wanted to play a lot harder and everything else, but